Yeah, that's gonna be really weird. Like the music just went up and it went down and then it kind of went back down
Hmm.
again. Oh boy,
I'm gonna be.
that's not
I
what I
might.
wanted. There we go.
I might be throwing a little plug to somebody, but in the midst of it, because I'm looking at them, and I've been like showing them love and affection lately. So I might throw a little piece of product placement.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Oh
in
no,
the
now we doing
in
ads, child. What?
yeah for
Look,
yeah with my
get your money, get your money,
yeah. Oh well, not really money, but
get your product.
just love. But when my time comes out, I probably will mention it as well as other things. So
Look, young, we were not gonna stand for Kev to not have internet for this. Like,
right.
I look, I called in the Goon Squad. So y'all ain't gonna do my boy like this.
Mm-hmm.
I may not have pull on Twitch, but I got
I
pull
was
elsewhere.
I was man of constant sorrow these last couple of weeks when it comes to technology. Like, jeez, was fuck.
We couldn't. He was out in the wilderness of the non-internet. We brought him back in, got him warm, ready to go.
Mhm.
With all
Fresh new
that,
box.
with all that being said, welcome once again to another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays for July 15th, 2021. I am one of your hosts, Marcus Major Linux Summers. Of course, I'm joined this week and every week but it's
Barely.
your boy Kev. Oh
Yes.
yeah, barely. But look, the
Barely.
streak is still alive. Kevin Kev is in the building.
Ew.
I'm joined this week in whichever week he so chooses. Because when he's not here dropping bombs, he's somewhere else dropping bombs, and he has the agency to do so. We can't tell him what he can and can't do. We don't run that. He does. It's Cinziak in the building.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's
Oh.
going on?
And we believe Anka is joining us. We're waiting. If she joins, we'll have her here. If not, hope she's doing well. Kev,
Yes, sir.
what's been going on with you? How look, I mean, we already know. We already know how the week's been.
Oh yeah. When I tell you,
If it ain't one thing, it's another.
it's the one thing or another. Last week it was the reinstall from hell. This week it's been like my internet died. My internet died on Sunday night. Not Sunday. Sunday night. And it was a weird, like, all of a sudden it was like we were on this family conference call. My mom heard lightning flash, thunder, a big drop of thunder, and then scared her. And then she's like, "Oh my God, Kevin! It seems like I saw fire outside." Apparently, it was because it hit the junction box where my internet was, knocked it out, and then it knocked it out that night. So we were like, "Okay, gotta call AT&T." Called AT&T. AT&T was like, "Hey, we can get you a tech to come fix your internet on Wednesday between noon and 4. Is that good?" And I'm like, "No, it's not good. Can you get an earlier day?" They were like, "We'll try." They didn't try. So Monday, no internet. Tuesday, no internet. Wednesday, we get there to get internet. Turns out the tech is my cousin's husband. So this is my cousin-in-law. My mom and him are like going back and forth. Cause she's like, he kind of like let her down, but then it turns out it was just miscommunication. So they were kind of going back at each other, like little snippets back and forth, like a sitcom. I'm literally like, please let me get my internet. And this is also the day of, like, Wednesday was also the day of Loki. So I'm like, oh God, I gotta see. I'm literally like, hurry up. I gotta see Loki before the internet spoils it.
For what? You want on the internet? You were going to see it anyway.
I was
Wow, Linux.
I was like, yeah,
No show,
but
no spoilers.
no show, no
I mean,
spoilers.
actually, I don't know. That's a lie because Captain Short was on the internet posting about how he couldn't get on the internet from
Yeah,
that cellular data.
I was on my phone.
That's right. That's
phone
right.
because I was on my phone, like trying to
Cry for help.
communicate, cry for help.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I did know he didn't have internet when he didn't have it.
Right, I'm literally having like data. I'm on my phone, like literally, hey, help, help. And then I'm just waiting for some. I'm just hoping that nobody in the sky like comes up and drops like, this happened on Loki. No. So I was struggling. Luckily, had my games, turned Steam on offline mode, and played as many games as I could. Played a lot of Astroneer, which I recommend. That is fun. It's like chibi No Man's Sky. I enjoy it. Basically just played games and watched episodes of shows and videos and DVDs that I had. Like, I literally sat down and watched The Martian one day. One day I was like, I had this movie for like, I bought this movie in like 5 years and I haven't watched it. Finally sat down and watched it. It was actually pretty good. Like, I was literally watching movies that I had not bought, which begs the question of reasons why you should have physical media. Like, physical media will never not be a thing in my house.
Nope. Build a Plex server.
No, not even that. No.
Build a Plex server.
I couldn't do that, i.e., because I had no Wi-Fi.
See, this is where, as someone who has experience with this,
Uh-huh.
your LAN still works.
Yeah. Guess what? When the LAN doesn't work,
When does the LAN not
how
work?
can I live?
When your local area network will work independently via internet.
They did not today. You don't think that was the first thing I tried?
What did you try?
I tried my LAN. My LAN didn't work.
No. Again, yes, people use Ethernet and LAN interchangeably when it comes to like plugging something physically into the internet. But LAN is a local area network.
Right.
Which means
So
my computers at my house can talk to each other.
Hey.
That's independent of internet. That's what your router does. I'm talking about a switch.
Yeah, I had the LAN. The LAN didn't work. So
I think my question is like, what two devices were you trying to get to talk to each other?
Basically my two computers. My two computers said no. So it was.
Now I'm curious about that. I'm curious about that, but that may be something else, and we'll be here an hour trying to diagnose that problem, and it doesn't even matter.
It was more like I had content to watch offline. I had offline content, and I just said I watched that offline content, it was also
my Linux server.
I had physical discs, so I watched them on my physical disc media. I had a Blu-ray player in the living room. I had my PS4 on. I was watching movies. I was putting on Tyler Perry movies for mom to keep mom, entertained. So she watched I think she watched more movies than I did that day.
As much as Tyler Perry puts out, like, there was no way she ran out of Tyler Perry content before the internet came back on.
No, actually we only scratched 2% of the Tyler Perry collection.
Major that was
before we even got on there. We still miss some movies. Like, we haven't gotten to Acrimony yet, which I'm still afraid to show my mom because I don't want her to her mind to explode on how did Taraji P. Henson's character get off that boat dry. Like, she swam to the boat and got out dry. I don't want her 70-year-old mind to explode. So I'm like, okay. So by the time they came and fixed it, it was like, cool. Watched basically was letting everybody know, and that was a rough couple of days, and that definitely was an experience. It definitely was a clarity moment because I haven't been that long without internet since I was on the cruise and we decided not to pay for Wi-Fi on it. That was like a week. But at least we were doing the conga back then. At least we had something to do.
There were things to do. There were things to do on a cruise.
Right, there's things to do on a cruise. There was nothing to do at home. And like, at least when you're on a cruise, you could do the conga. Like, I couldn't do the conga.
Wow, not the conga. Okay.
Oh yes, we did a conga line. No, we did two. That was fun.
It was food, like drinking, conga lines. That's it.
Conga line. That was it. That's a cruise. I was like,
and occasionally just get out in another country and see what international crimes you can commit.
Mm-hmm. Which is not much.
It's not. It really isn't.
It is not a lot.
My wife and I thought we were about to get abducted in Mexico.
Oh jeez.
We were separated.
Oh jeez.
Like everybody else who was with us on the tour, they knew how to speak some Spanish. We didn't, and we were put on a van by ourselves.
Mm. Oh jeez.
Nope, I don't like this at all.
Be like, here are your hoods. But yeah, no internet. Don't recommend it.
Yeah, 0 out of 10. Don't recommend.
0 recommend. Yeah, don't recommend. And learned that I had and I learned that I had fiber in my city, but not in my area. Ooh, that was her.
Now, like, wait. Before we say you have fiber in your city, there's another point of clarification here.
Right.
Is it gigabit fiber or is it just fiber and they still control how much you get?
It's both.
Okay.
It's like
when I was in Mebane, when I used to live at 2 houses ago,
right.
We had fiber, but it was still 100 up, 100 down.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was no gigabit, and I was like, yeah, well, this is that. I think at that point I learned the difference between fiber and gigabit. I was like, okay, right. I see what you're doing here, but you ain't CenturyLink. You ain't getting me today.
Right. It's basically like the way he said it. It's like they run gigabit, but then they just like they have gigabit,
but then they lie.
It's like they have gigabit, but it's like, oh yeah, you can only get this type of fiber.
Oh,
unless you pay for it, then you get the real gigabit. It's like we'll give it. It's like here's the access, but if you ask for it, then it'd be like, oh shit, they asked for it.
Like I don't understand. Like why would they run you fiber to your house if they're not just gonna give it to you? I don't get it. AT&T, like we have the same thing here. But of course, like when I found, I can get gigabit. No, you're going to give me all of it.
Right.
And now that not YouTube, but Google, they own YouTube. Now that Google saw my life, we can give you 2 gigabit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that infrastructure in place yet in my house, but also I don't even understand like what would be the point. Who has computers? Like just like. For those who have Google Fiber or the 2 gigabit plans, do you have the infrastructure in your house? Let alone just the device, like end devices, your PCs, your laptops, that can even take in 2 terabytes. What's the point? I mean, other than like maybe if you run speedtest.net, it'll just cap at 1 terabyte because that's about as fast as your Ethernet card can go.
Right.
Like it just sits at 1 gigabit. Look, what do you want me to do? I can't go any faster than this. I need to look into that.
But yeah, let's see, what else? Monster Hunter Stories is still good. Recommend. That is a really good game. I've been really enjoying that game a lot. That was also another thing that was killing me too because I couldn't play it. I could play it offline, but because I'm a streamer, it's like if I could easily stream this, and yet I can't. So now I can't play it because it's new and fresh.
That's that dilemma.
That's the dilemma.
Dilemma right there.
That's the dilemma.
And that's for me. Like I've not played any video games since. Like I've not played many video games since I've been on this little hiatus because I'm like, well, I could stream it if I play it. And I was like, well, no, Mark, you shouldn't have to do. Well, fine, I'll go sit on my couch and just play solitaire and watch TV then.
Right.
If you don't want to stream a video game, fine. We just won't be at the PC at all.
Mm-hmm. Cause that's how I feel about with like Yakuza 7. Yakuza 7 is like my it's like my like relaxing. I'm just playing this game for the story, you know, here and there kind of thing. But then there's also that moment where I'm like, that was a really cool thing that happened. Man, I wish I was streaming that. Or man, I wish I could record that. So that's always the dilemma when you're a content creator. Do you play games for fun or do you play games for content? And I do like the fact that I have designated some games as strictly for content, and then other games strictly for for pleasure. So anyway, that's been my harrowing experience. Hopefully, no more tech related problems will happen next week. Knock on wood.
Next week on Tech Talk Thursdays.
Kevin struggles.
Before we move this in, I just want to point out something that has been in chat. Of course, if you were listening to the podcast version, hey, join us live twitch.tv/Major Linux Thursdays, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Tycho mentions, and also Tycho, can you let me know like what is the correct pronunciation of your handle? I'd appreciate that.
Right.
Tycho says sin in the middle of a snack. Before we went live,
wait, are we gonna have this? Oh, we're gonna have this conversation.
Yes, we are. Before we went live, Kevin and I, we were talking. Like I was saying that, hey, I kind of just shoveled down food before I went live because I have an issue of eating on stream, which I get people do not. I do. Right. I told Kev as Sin was showing, I said, look, I could take 2 bites of a sandwich on stream and then like, nope, BRB, I can't do this, and just walk away. Where Sin tried to call me out for that. Almost accusing me of not having eaten because I refuse to eat on stream.
I sure did. And would do it again. Let me pull this microphone to my face so I can say that again. Would do it again. Like, you just sat here and said, listen, like, Major is the kind of person who will sit here in front of the computer for a whole 6 hours and drive a truck across the country making multiple stops. And you mean to tell me that you can't sneak in one chicken tendy during that time? No, sir. No, sir. You will not say that in the House of Sunflowers. No, you will not.
I've done it. I've stopped the stream to get the food and ate it while the BRB stream was up.
If, like, real talk for a second, if you're taking breaks, I don't mind. But I am personally a fan of removing any and all stigmas from people eating or drinking on stream, especially because most of the people that I know that get into this stuff are like, hey, this is my full-time job, but I have to be entertaining and engaging the whole time, which means there's a very limited amount of time that I'm going to be away from the screen. So if you feel like drinking some water, if you feel like drinking some soda, if you feel like drinking other beverages allowed by the terms of service, or having a snack and so like some hot Cheetos or whatever else, if you decide to have some pizza along the way, then please do it. You will get no judgment from me.
Again, I'm not judging anybody. That's not the. It's just something I personally can't do.
Right.
And like now that you've listed the things like snacks, like if somebody bought me a bag of chips, I'll eat the chips. My thing is like if I had like I had a salad tonight, I will not eat that salad. Like when you mentioned the truck stream, I ordered a cheeseburger. I will not eat that cheeseburger on stream. But yeah, if I was like a plate of fries or some chips. I am drinking, Diet Dr. Pepper. Like, that's whatever. But yeah, I'm not going to just get this huge bacon double cheeseburger and then try to eat that on stream. Like, I can't do that. I got to go hide my shame with that one. Because I'm going to tear that shit off.
If you're just like, listen, the way that I like to get down with my food violates the Twitch terms of service. Right, I'm gonna need. It's an intimate moment. Y'all do not need to like. It's a very like. Y'all go ahead and say rip to that food because the way that I'm about to fuck this plate of food up right now, y'all don't need to see that.
It's a very It's a
Yeah.
About
very
to be a live
intimate
action
moment.
Tasmanian devil cartoon. Like if that's where we're on,
Yep.
fine,
Yep.
fine. I
No, it's,
understand that, but
people
still.
people will come into streams and say, "Yo, like you said, you're playing American Truck Simulator. This looks like a mukbang report."
Mm. Dude, the way that I would time out people at that point when I see them, I'd be like, you think about what you did.
But Sam, what's been going on with you this week?
Eating.
Why?
Since we are here, since we're here. Now this week we've been doing we had Sunday was a chill day, so we didn't really do anything during the weekend. But Monday and Tuesday were like super chill games. So we played Journey. I don't know if y'all played Journey.
Never played it, but I'd like to.
You absolutely should. So I happen to have the good fortune of running into someone who was also on their journey. So when we found each other, we just like stuck with each other for the rest of the game.
That's awesome.
Because that's the thing about Journey. You will randomly find other people who are playing. Also, it's a single player game, but the multiplayer element comes in because it's like the journey that you're taking. You might find other people along the way, and if you do, y'all can help each other. So that's really cool.
That's a great
Tuesday,
mechanic.
We just did some. I have finally come away from my short break from Final Fantasy XI, so we started playing through some of the new storyline that they have. And then the game was like, you can do the next part of this adventure after you wait for 45 minutes, because they have like time gates for things. One of them is you have to wait a game day, and a game day is about an hour. So I was like, okay, we're going to wrap up for today then. Wednesday was quiet and full of spreadsheets. Today was mostly full of spreadsheets. And now we're here. I got some jewelry boxes this week, so that was cool. I am finally at the age where I'm like, I have enough accessories that I need to actually put them in proper places that are meant for them. So now they're back here. Not a whole lot going on otherwise yet anyway.
But I sense they're on the horizon.
At some point we're like, now I'm just working on like stuff that's planning for the future, so we don't have anything major coming up until like September or something like that. But y'all hear about that in a future episode, I am sure.
In the future.
Also, I just want to say, these are notes for this week. I have opinions about these articles.
Is that one sticky note for one opinion, or is that all of them?
That is one sticky note per opinion.
Oh, okay.
I want to say, y'all know exactly why I say this later. I sure do hate owning an iPhone right now.
Nah, I'm curious. See, it's that shit again, was I put shit on that damn docket and I have no idea what I did.
I read most of the article, so you're gonna have fun with this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go through and figure out what the hell's going on with that.
One more thing while we're here.
Go on.
P.S. Happy Disability Pride Month for our disabled communities across the spectrum.
Yes.
And also, happy Non-Binary Awareness Week.
Yes.
Congratulations on not being invisible and for being very real and valid people, no matter what people try to say about that. I see y'all and I appreciate you.
Yep. You are seen, you are heard, you are appreciated. We love you.
Let's see, with me, there's been more non-games, a lot of sleeping still. Who knew actually leaving the house and going into an office every day would be actually physically exhausting? Because I forgot. After not having to do that for 15 months, I forgot that shit's fucking exhausting. Why the hell am I doing this? So moves are being made. Maybe, I don't know. I need to figure out why exactly I'm wanting to do what I'm trying to do. But something has to give. Something has to change. Things were great in the past 16 months. Now it's not. I want like it's a thing where it's not obvious why that is. So trying to figure out what it is, what can change. Because honestly, I like doing what I do. It's just the environment in which I do it I don't like. So changing the environment for one small thing may not. I mean, it could be overkill, and I may end up regretting it because I don't want to do that again. I don't want another pivotal on my hands. But I'll get through that. I'll figure it out. Yeah, nothing really. Oh, yeah. So, speaking of games that we could play on stream versus games that we play for relaxation, I have come to the realization that Mass Effect is not my kind of game anymore. I bought it. I bought the Legendary Edition or whatever the fuck it's called. So, oh, man, it'd be nice to...
Decisions for you?
Huh?
Too many decisions?
No, it's just... I don't know. I feel like I'm wasting my time playing something. Like I do not care what's happening here. I did before, back when somebody loaned me a copy.
Unmotivated.
Huh?
Unmotivated.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Like I got into it because I was wondering like what the West offered for RPGs. So somebody loaned me their copy of Mass Effect. I played it. I bought Mass Effect 2, bought Mass Effect 3 to kind of continue on. And like I think that was that motivation. I wanted to see that story through.
Right.
But I
have a question to ask you. I won't come back to this.
Mm-hmm.
When you get to the end of that, I have a question to ask you.
Okay. But I think what it is, it's that same thing with every game that I play. It's very rare that I come back to games. So me thinking that, oh man, Mass Effect just looks cool and it'll play great on my GTX 1080 and my Ryzen 9. It'll look amazing. Like, yeah, it does, but it's still fucking Mass Effect. You've played this. You have no interest in this. You wasted $60. This isn't Cyberpunk. There's no need for you to go back and play this again. This isn't Sleeping Dogs. This isn't Watch Dogs 2.
Right.
There was no need for you to go back and play this. You don't enjoy this. This is not fun for you. Like, I had that realization last night, and I'm like, this is at 10%. This goes in that 10% column of bad decisions and wrong choices. Now, time for me to go play some Civ 5.
Yep.
And now, hopefully, I'll have a device in my hands to where I can play Civ 5 on my couch.
That comes up later.
It does.
Foreshadowing.
Which I hope, seeing that Tycho is
driving home.
I hope he comes back for that because he had words. He had words today. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else that's happened. Yeah.
I won't keep this too long, but what is everybody's offline game of choice? Because I know that one of mine has been, we've had a couple that have ended up with me like playing with people while they were streaming, but I wasn't on stream. I was just playing, and they were just like, "Well, this would be a good time to play." Has been Dead by Daylight and Final Fantasy 11 for me. Those are my typical go-tos for I just want to play games and chill offline.
Mine is Civ 5. Mine is Civ 5 because I can just sit, play it with something else on. Right? Like if I want to watch TV and also play a video game, I would turn on Civ 5 and just kind of just click through and go through the motions while watching. You know, as much as I hate to say it, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Again, great workplace comedy. Just hate the fact that the workplace is a police department.
And the HR department is the chief.
That's a good show, no cap, but it's like, man.
Yeah, it's like the best episodes are ones where they do not touch on the fact that they are cops.
Yeah.
It's like when you can ignore the fact that they are police officers, that they are just working.
Sometimes them episodes get a little bit too real, and I'm like, ooh, no. Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Like they had, I was watching 2 back to back where Terry was profiled or was racially profiled, and then they went to a cop convention. Then very next episode, I was like, oh damn it!
Right.
Why?
Like, one where a particular character had to come out to their parents, and
I've seen the episode, but I've seen it. I've seen every episode, but I haven't gotten that far in this playthrough yet.
Right. So that was a particular one I wasn't expecting, and I was like, okay, but yeah, there's some episodes that it gets real. It gets real. But it's a really good show.
Yeah.
Boo Terry Crews, but it's a really good show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I go along with Major on this. I like Civ, but I also like Anode. Currently playing Anode 1800, but I generally do like to dabble mostly in the 2070.
I tried to play Anno. I just could not get into it.
Like, it's more on the line of the city builder kind of. Let me build cities and trade networks.
Yep, I think that's what it is. It's the city building that I do not like.
Yeah, I definitely fuck with the city building. When it gets to the trade networks, that's when it gets like to be the convoluted mess that it is. Because then you're like, okay, why am I not moving enough beef? And do I do creator islands? And do I do more islands for production and less on this? Do I want to make a settlement or do that kind of stuff? So, I've been enjoying.
The furthest I get in like city builders and stuff like that is like maybe Satisfactory, but then at a certain point I just stop because I may not play it for a while, then forget what I was doing. Like, oh yeah, what was I? You know what? Let's just start from scratch and then just do the same intro bit over and over and over again. This is scratching that itch. I don't need to go any further than like level 5 because that's when I'll lose interest, do something else, and then have to start over again because I forgot what I was doing.
Yeah, once it gets a bloated mess, then you restart again.
I do like city builders though.
Damn.
Need some liquid cooling for my room. I thought about when I was looking into liquid cooling, I was like, could I actually just build a computer and put the radiator outside? But then I realized, oh wait, I live in North Carolina. That ain't gonna work at all. If anything, I'm adding unnecessary heat to the solution. But gentlemen, what say you? We get into some tech and gaming news. Also some streaming news this week. Surprisingly.
Indeed.
So let's start off with some of the tech news this week. Latest iOS 14.7 beta fixes the bug that caused certain network names to disable your iPhone's Wi-Fi. Normally I don't talk about betas on the show, but I figured this one was important to let people know, hey, there is a new version of iOS that is coming out soon, sooner than the very, very, very new one, which I'm testing. That should fix this weird bug that they have that will disable the Wi-Fi stack. Let's see the other links posted in the gaming channel. Let's take a look real quick. We could touch on that for a bit, but I think we had discussed it, and so just to jump the gun here, like it's about Netflix and their gaming ambitions, and it's a big meh.
It's meh.
We'll see what that looks like when they start outputting shit, but people just need look. We'll talk about this in a little bit too. People just need to fucking stay in the lane. Stop copying other people's shit. Just do what you do best. Just they want to become the Netflix of gaming. Isn't that already on Game Pass? But yeah, people like honestly, these companies just need to fucking stay in the lane.
True.
You can't do what everybody else does. Just do what you do best.
Right.
Next up, President Biden signs executive order calling for the restoration of net neutrality.
Hey.
Who knew back-to-back executive orders were going to be talked about on this show?
Who knew?
To call, this is the part that you're going to miss me being spicy on, but please be safe on the way home.
Be safe. Take your time. Get home safely. We will see you when you get home safely. Take your time, my friend.
Just so we're clear though, like even though it's an executive order, say, hey, we want to bring back net neutrality, it's like a mere suggestion.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we should.
Well, like some of these
want
things
to do this
because I mean, remember we published about 17 of those on like month 1 in about 4 years ago.
Oh yeah.
So,
He had a hand cramp.
let's talk about some notes for a second.
Go on.
For the notes on what the quote unquote net neutrality thing is for. This net neutrality thing isn't even to introduce anything new. It is literally a, hey, undo all that bullshit that they did in 2016, 2017.
Yep.
That's where we are now. We're at the point, like now a comfy 7 or so months in to where we are, that we're just kind of like, all right, let's get around to actually undoing some of this mess and trying to clear some of this stuff off the desk.
Hasn't he been doing that since day one?
Yeah.
And no, like this is what this executive order is for. Now we're here.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, this one's for net neutrality, but he's been trying to undo all of Trump's shit since day one.
Yeah. He's been like first day hit the ground running, couldn't even sleep in.
Because remember, he like before.
Linux, to put it this way, imagine being 6 months in trying to undo the amount of executive orders someone did in 1 month.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
We're here. Like when I say we finally got to the point where we can start doing this stuff, like mind you, that's after 5 months of trying to actually undo other things.
I mean, you're right. The pandemic was kind of a big one, so.
Yeah. Like,
you know what? I can see he was a little busy, but I think that's what I was trying to say too. Like he was trying since day one, but I didn't see where you were coming from about that. Okay,
right.
We're here now.
Like just imagine that it took that long, but also some other things in these notes for what we're trying to do. So first thing is they're trying to restore the Obama era rules on net neutrality. So they're not writing anything new. They're trying to undo stuff that was written as an executive order to just fuck up a bunch of things that were established during the period that Obama was in presidency.
Right.
So that's the first thing.
Yeah.
But there were 3 other small things under the same article section that might be interesting for everybody here to know. So we're going to talk about them. Thing number 1, prevent ISPs from making deals with landlords that limit your options for ISP choices. Linux, you're going to edit this in post, so it's fine. Bitch, do you mean to tell me these raggedy motherfuckers were out here literally going up to landlords and being like, hey, you can only work with us too, and then being like, yeah, that works, and getting a little bit of kickback? There are landlords out here who are playing dirty. Y'all don't even see them in the field, literally going, y'all get a choice of 2 ISPs. I'm sorry, but our wiring only supports internet from Charter, so you can't get internet from other places. It is removing moisture from my skin to even continue the thought. God.
So part of me kind of understands why that could be an issue. I mean, well, not why it could be an issue, but why it's a thing.
So let's talk about that for a second. A step back from here. In places that people have limited options for the amount of ISPs that they can have as consumers, internet can cost up to 5 times as much.
Yeah. See, it's a thing of price gouging because of the fact that the apartment complex made the monopoly.
Right.
But I could see why that happened because of just how the infrastructure of the building would work. It's like, because again, like I look at it like my house. My house has Ethernet running through it. I technically could set up this house. I have 2 different ISPs running here. I ain't paying for that shit, but I could. But it would not make sense. Like all of
Well,
my
I
house
mean,
is running AT&T, whether my wife and son like it or not. Luckily, they don't give a shit, and
well,
quite
I
frankly,
mean,
it's the cheapest option. But I I look at how my house is set up as to how these apartment complexes could be set up to where their infrastructure can only support one, but it's because of that you can't charge outrageous prices through like the rent or through some weird bundle with the landlord.
and so here's my thing, right? Let's use where I live as an example. Where I live, if it would be it would be a somewhat different situation if you were living in a place where they were just like, here's the rent bill, and your rent includes internet service from this company. But where I live, in a complex like this, I have to like go out and get
Right.
the internet and talk to the
Right.
providers and have them come out here and call the text when things don't work and all this other stuff. And you mean to tell me that up in here in the house of sin, the company could have been low-key talking to the landlord and being like, hey, listen. Because it wasn't just like one ISP provider for the apartment thing. In this case, we were talking about a landlord may have some dealings one way or another.
Right. Yeah,
With
that's the
multiple
shady part.
ISPs. Raggedy, ashy, dry, tired. I hate it all. Every bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Look, ain't nobody asked for the landlord to be
Oh
an
my
MVNO.
god.
Mm-hmm.
Listen.
The thing. Oh yeah.
Like, and not for the consistency of internet that we get. Are you out here getting these kickbacks and charging us these extra, something? I'm gonna shut up and move to my second point.
Yep.
Do you have anything you want to say before then?
No, I'm just like saying. I was agreeing with what Sandra said about getting rid of data caps and throttling. Data caps need to definitely die in the fire. So
As much money as we're paying.
yeah.
That's a little bit of foreshadowing too.
Oh yeah.
It sure is.
Yeah.
That's
But
a
I'm
little
like,
bit foreshadowing too.
yeah, die in the fire though. Like data caps.
AT&T.
Eesh.
Not me paying 7% extra for dial-up speeds. I could have just gotten a disc
Ooh.
from AOL and saved myself time. Anyway, you know what?
Ooh.
Point number 2. Lack of price transparency.
Mm-hmm.
So back in the Obama era rules, they used to have a thing in Linux. You have a link to an image in Discord called a broadband nutrition label.
I was so glad we're talking about that because that really intrigued me.
They used to have a thing called a broadband nutrition label. It reads like like the food labels that tell you how much like sodium, protein, saturated fats and stuff are in food and calories and things. But
Also-
they used to have that for broadband that would tell you for the services in your area, this is what they provide and what they don't.
Shout out to this high ass resolution image. I've never.
When I say I made sure the image I wanted you to have was crisp
shit.
because we want to provide you 4K receipts.
God, this is 8K. What is the resolution of this image?
Jeez Louise, I just pulled it up.
6,872 by 4,581.
I'm gonna need a slider for this, but yeah.
This is like Anka's picture she sent me that one time.
Yeah.
But
But I like stuff like this.
But they used to just give you a straight up, this is what your providers are required to do for broadband services. And they had an executive order that messed that up along with the efforts, as we've talked about on this show months ago, like back in February about Ajit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ajit. Fuck that guy.
Right? So,
And-
just so y'all know, fuck that dude forever as he was being dragged out of the office. But I digress.
Right.
What if it was him who
Without-
tried to sign back into his work computer?
Oh, we don't want to.
It'd be like,
Do we want
you
to
know
cover
what?
that for comedy after this? Because I think
Yeah.
we should.
It's an IT issue. It's an IT issue.
I'd be
Okay,
like,
we're gonna cover that
Yeah,
after this.
we'll get to that.
yeah.
Basically, that broadband nutritional label made sure that people knew what they were getting and for how much relatively. And then they stopped doing that. So because they didn't have to tell you everything that was included and exactly what that was going to be and what price ranges you were going to be in, people have been low-key charged up to 40% more than they actually have to pay for broadband internet.
Damn, they even get typical packet loss information? Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, we only serve quality content in this house, okay? Quality content,
Look,
that's all you get out here.
I mean, I like the fact that they labeled the early termination fees.
Yeah.
Like, because not many people know about the early termination fee. They know not to do it, but they don't know how much it would cost for me to do that.
Oh shit, the optional modem gateway lease information? That's good to know.
That's
People
very
should
good
know
to
about that.
Data
I know I'm leasing my modem, but that's because I don't even know where I can find a fiber modem right now.
Yeah, data caps, how much it would cost per month per data. If you go over that data, like how much the data, that kind of stuff. Because especially when you deal with like these places like T-Mobile, where T-Mobile will be like, "Oh, hey, we'll totally pay for your like early termination fees." Yeah, how much are you gonna pay?
I just realized what these were now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, see, I didn't look at the top, like underneath the broadband facts. It actually tells you what they are. I was wondering why there was two of them. So one's for mobile data. So like the one we're looking at now is cell phone.
Right.
And there's one on the left for mobile broadband, and the other one on the right is for like.
Yeah, I didn't realize that there was a difference until just now.
They had to give you all of that.
They had to give you all the information. Look at that. Data caps, how much per data, early termination
per provider had to do it. That was a regulation, and the executive orders. Executive orders from
packet loss, which is crazy.
What? Yeah, they need to bring this shit. They need to bring this shit back, man, or implement it now.
Yeah.
So this is so fucking cool.
Yeah,
this is the stuff that they're pushing now. It's kind of optional if companies feel like doing it.
No.
Where it used to be a regulation, like a requirement you had to.
No. Make them do it. They got time.
This is amazing.
So
look at that, month to month.
Related to a thing that Kevin said, also trying to push for, mind you, this isn't something that they can executive order, I think, but it's something that they're working on trying to regulate, limiting excessive early termination fees, which again is meant to suppress people in areas with limited options from exploring or using any of those options. So the idea would be, you have like two providers, and one of the providers you realize is clearly better for you, but you're not able to leave them because if you do, it's going to cost you almost 2 months worth of billing to leave.
Right. They'll lock you in maybe like a year plan. Be like, oh, we'll lock you in for a year plan.
And mind you, I have in my notes and in the article around $200, but there isn't a cap on what that number is. So, trying to regulate that nonsense.
Yeah, because they really don't tell you how much is the early termination fee unless you physically ask them how much is the early termination fee.
The last time I looked for one, I was with Sprint, and it varies depending on how long you've got left in your plan.
Right.
Yeah, like it started off at like 300, and it would like knock off certain a month until like you were closer to the end of the contract.
Just like the whole prorated thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what it is for Verizon. I imagine it's probably about the same amount, but honestly, I'm happy with Verizon. So
you don't know that because they're not required to tell you.
True.
Yep. Yeah. Because they could easily just tack that shit onto the bill.
Damn. Oops, wrong button. Now I kind of want to find out.
So that's the thing. And that's all my notes on this article. That's all I have to say about that.
Okay, hey. Well, Verizon won't tell me, but according to Google here, according to this website, Verizon charges an early termination fee of $350 to the first 6 months of service. The termination fee declines gradually over the course of the rest of the contract, including $10 per month for months 7 through 17, 20, 18 for months 18 through 22, and 60 upon completion of the 23rd month. That is weird fucking math and gymnastics to have to go through.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not even weird math and gymnastics. They're trying to be like, at the very least, like they couldn't make it even because they have to try to maximize their money, so they try to make it a scaling thing. And I'm like, I hate y'all.
So good on Joe to make these executive suggestions. Hooray. But speaking of, data and, data caps and net neutrality, this isn't a deal. I bought this up because it's like, oh, wait, you could do this? AT&T removes unlimited data cap. The arbitrary bullshit thing that they put on it, you could just remove it? It can go away?
No. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Eye contact at the screen, ear up to whatever you're listening to if you are at home.
Well, I'll turn on the music for you. There you go.
Do you remember 1 year and some change ago, back in May, when we told you that they were giving away data for free because people could not leave the house at the beginning of this whole Panic at the Disco? And we were talking to you, and I was heated for months behind the fact that they were just able at a whim to just do that.
Snap their fingers. Did it.
Snap their fingers and whole charges could disappear, which is like, oh, so they could be doing just fine. They just want to charge you extra for no reason. I remember when I told you to hold on to that and to remember that forever and ever, amen, when they started trying to roll this stuff back out with these charges, like right around October, November of last year. Well, now here we are. And these people just went, for no additional charges, we can give you 10 extra gigabytes of data worth of hotspot data. We can tell the unlimited data plan, and we can take the unlimited in quotes for your data plan and make it unlimited, period, without quotes for your data plan. And we can throw in 4K, 4K like rendering and streaming capabilities where available. We can do all of that. We just can because we feel like it. Because they took the time to do all that and then had the nerve to say, "Hey there, hey there." Oh, okay.
It's minor
But
Linux.
oh no, that's fine. So I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking about how they managed to do all of that and then had the nerve to say, "We can do that for you for no extra charge." Let me go ahead and translate that for y'all at home who are listening. They have been robbing you. Congratulations to you if you have AT&T service and decided to pay $85 a month for this service. However, all the months prior to this rollout that they're about to do, which they're planning to do on August the 2nd, they robbed you. They robbed you. They robbed you for hundreds of dollars. Fight them. And that's it. That's the end. I think I'm going to chill for a second.
Yep.
All those times that y'all spent ducking from one Wi-Fi hotspot to another just so you wouldn't hit this data cap. These people could have just given it to you and then decided, oh, we're just going to. It's fine. Because now we have this happening when we're not in the middle of a pandemic. So it's not like people can go, oh, well, that was a special occasion for emergency measures. No, stop defending companies. Like you don't need defending.
That was my whole point of bringing this up. Is like, this is way after that.
Yeah.
This is way after that. Like, y'all could have done this earlier and could have made it seem like, oh no, we did this for the pandemic. And hey, we're just going to keep it this way. No, they waited.
It's like, made sure to get like a little bit of extra money and then went, all right, I think we got enough. Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much.
It'd be like, how many people got shots? How many? Okay, we can do this now. Boom.
Now, I don't know how long that's going to last, but the fact that they even had the nerve to do it, I'm just...
I think when they're announcing it, I think it's going to... Because that's the thing, like, if you look where internet data or mobile data was going, how, like, we had unlimited, then they took it away and then gave it back Like I think it's a thing of like, I mean, it would be interesting to talk to somebody who actually is working the infrastructure. Like again, like we could sit and talk to the execs people, the marketing people, the people who are trying to make the money, and get their reasoning for it. But what I actually would like, the people I would like to talk to are the people like the network engineers. If they think that was justified, because of hardware. Like maybe they didn't have, maybe like again, there may be a story we don't know. I mean, it's easy to say that, yeah, like data's free, you should be able to move it. But was there actually something that was keeping them from doing it? Like, is the fact that, they upgraded all their equipment, they can now handle this bandwidth. Now that more people are moving to 5G, they're moving off of 4G, there's not going to be as much congestion. And with 5G, there's more bandwidth. They don't have to worry about the congestion like they did with 3G going into 4G. Again, I'm not excusing them. This still seems like a very shitty thing. I mean, if we really want to look at it, like, why were they charging for text messages? Like, just very minuscule amounts of data, and they were charging for text messages. So it's like, it's fucking dirty and grimy from the jump. But I'm wondering if their reasoning for it actually is, like, based in some actual science, some physics. Like they just could not do it, or they thought they couldn't do it, but they see that with 5G rollout, they can do that again. Because again, like looking at how cell phone plans have been going, they started restricting us, and then they started unrestricting us. Like I'm actually waiting for the day when Verizon says, okay, you know what, that data cap thing, you're good now. We got 5G, we got 5G ultra wideband now. Yeah, you don't have to worry about the data caps again. Because it was a chart I was looking at earlier this week where they compared data plans. Apparently, some plans, and I think I'm on a plan where I've got 30 gigabytes of mobile data. I only thought I had 5. I don't even know when that changed. They didn't tell me. I don't use it, so I don't really care.
Yeah, that's how mine went too.
But apparently, like they're giving us more. Luckily, they're not changing the amount we're paying for it, which is good. I like that, but it's like, it should not have been this crappy to begin with.
Right.
But maybe, again, like I was saying, like maybe it's the infrastructure. Maybe they now have the infrastructure to do it, or that they feel comfortable doing it. And unfortunately, it's being tied with the money making, the marketing aspect of it that makes it seem gross. Or maybe I'm just like, I'm a pie in the sky type of dude. And I'm just a very optimistic person. Just like, no, they wouldn't be fucking us over, would they? They couldn't be doing that.
Not in this, like, you know, land of capitalism. Surely not.
Nah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously I'll put this here for a reason of like, yeah, like I honestly do feel like they could have been doing this for a while. Like this whole, you have unlimited data until you reach 24 gigs or 20 gigs or whatever. It's like, oh, then we're going to throttle you. It's like, no, the fuck you won't, motherfucker. You sit your ass down. But please do not have faith in ISPs. Look, AT&T Fiber has not fucked me over yet. So
yeah,
I will. I've had them for about 2 years. They've earned my trust a little bit. Because again, all the issues I've had have been self-inflicted.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that I now have to pay $15 a month to get different IP addresses. But again, that was because of something I caused. I think it should be cheaper, but you know.
Yep.
I mean, and you're right. Like, look, Verizon has not, like, I've been a Verizon customer for about 8 years now, for about as long as I've been married. And it's been okay. It's been okay. Like, I don't feel like I've been fucked over by Verizon at all. Spectrum, though. Oh, Spectrum, yeah, fuck them. Fuck Spectrum.
Whew.
That's one ISP I definitely will not trust.
The way that I don't even want to try to go to the local like broadband network where they have the most ridiculous data caps that I've ever seen in my life. So I've been like, yo, it's like they make AT&T look decent. So I'm like, I don't want that angry phone
And
call.
I've never had Comcast, but I will say fuck Comcast too.
That
Yeah, like yes, Spectrum and Comcast will fuck you over in plain sight. Oh, I believe
right,
it.
right.
That's happened with Spectrum, and I've heard enough from Comcast.
Like the literal like horror stories that I hear from Namu in Spectrum with Spectrum, like
It's the
jeez
worst.
Louise, it's
It's
the
the
worst.
worst.
It's the worst.
All right. Watch out for your email inbox because one of the biggest ransomware botnets is back.
Guess who's back? Back again.
After being taken out by Microsoft and the Pentagon ahead of the 2020 presidential election, that's a very specific thing to mention.
Oh, that's scary.
The group behind TrickBot is up and running again. The Russian-speaking ransomware group taken down by Microsoft and the Pentagon last year is back up and running and ready to infect a whole new trench. Is that how you say that? That's a new word for me. Trench of machines. So yeah, time to really be careful about what links and attachments you click on in unsolicited emails.
And Kevin, they came for you in this article. This is that you need to apply the most recent updates.
Well. Oh, speaking of updates, as y'all can plainly see, I'm still on Windows 10. I forgot to mention I tried that this weekend.
Oh, congratulations.
No, it failed twice.
I know. The congratulations was well placed. So, for those of you who are watching at home, the name of the group is called TrickBot, apparently. They are from a number of places across Middle and Eastern Europe. We have been in a battle with them via Microsoft and other parties since about 2016. It took them until 2020 to get them 94% shut down. But they're decentralized, so you know how that goes. It's like, you kill one head of the Hydra, and therefore. So they've been ramping up bit by bit since January of this year.
Yep.
And yeah, update your things. Two-factor your things.
Do not click on weird links in emails from people you do not know.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all listen, I think we're stranger danger. We learned this in 3rd grade. If you don't know these people, don't open the email. Don't nobody write you an email with like $ your first name. Stop opening emails from weird people.
Yeah, and don't be opening up them those strange PayPal ones I get every now and again where it'd be like service at paypal.com, and then in the body of in the email it'd be like x34857883b37 at gmail.net, some kind of bullshit. So PayPal ain't gonna do that to you, so don't click on them.
Yeah, I was checking to see if I had any sitting in my inbox, but I don't see any in there.
Like, I mean, as soon as I see them, I just absolutely just click on them, just delete them, because
some of them are sent to my mail server, so I take the time to block the IP addresses.
Mm-hmm.
Does Gino not send me? Oh, I do have 9. Shit, I clicked the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm. Also watch Scammers Payback on YouTube. Hilarity.
Let's see. Moving on. Oh, here's a Tycho article. Unfortunately, he's driving home from work.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft is bringing Windows to the web. It'll work on iPad and the Mac. The reason why I mentioned Tycho in this is because he was screaming this shit from fucking day one when Windows like, oh, we got an operating system announcement for you. All Tycho would say was, it's gonna be in the cloud. It's gonna be in the cloud. It's gonna be in the cloud. Windows 11 was announced. It don't look like it's in the cloud. But then 2 weeks later, it's like, oh yeah, no, we got a version that's gonna be in the cloud. You're gonna love this.
All right. Okay, hold on. Congratulations from the people who have brought you Chromebook. We now present you WinBook. I am just. Oh God, why?
Windows 365.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Windows tried really hard to be Apple for a while? Why are they trying to be
Windows 11?
Google now? You know what? I'm gonna mind my business. I sure am.
Windows 11, crying.
Well, they tried to be Chrome OS too, because even Chrome OS has those icons in the middle.
Yeah.
With the same colors.
Mm-hmm. I'm really just waiting for one day when Google decides, hey yo, we should totally make an OS for PCs beyond Chromebooks. Just do it.
I mean, you could install Chrome OS on a PC. There has to be an x86 version of Chrome OS.
Gotta be. Because, and oh boy, talk about telemetry there. Woo!
I mean, from what I want to say it runs off like it's a version of Linux, but I don't remember. I don't think it is. Yeah, Chrome OS is rare. I've not really looked into it. I wanted to install. You know what? There is a version of Chrome OS for x86 because before the pandemic, or just as it was getting underway, I was like, you know what? Now I have time. I can sit at home. I can work on this project, installing Chrome OS on this Windows laptop that I have. But then I got word that my nephews needed laptops for school because they had to leave AT&T. So I handed them the laptops I was going to use for this experiment. Which, of course, I asked my wife about a month ago. I said, hey, are they still using those laptops for school? She said, yes, they are. I said, damn. So I needed a laptop for Windows 11 testing. Yeah, so Microsoft unveiled a new service called Windows 365, and it makes it possible for users to run a full version of Windows and a web browser on any device. The new service is only available for businesses at first, but given Microsoft's emphasis on cloud platforms, it is highly likely that it will become available for consumers at some point in the future. Microsoft is offering Windows 365 for businesses of all sizes, whether you are a one-person show or a giant organization. The best part, you can run Windows 365 on an iPad in addition to a Mac. So they've got xCloud, WinCloud.
It's just, what is the point of this?
Because
do they really need a cloud? Did they need a cloud OS?
I mean,
or are they gearing up for something with Xbox?
Well, no, I have a feeling, seeing as that they're targeting businesses with this one, I have a feeling it's for those Windows shops that would rather just support Windows. So it's like, okay, fine. If you have to use a Mac, if you have to use an iPad, in order to get access to our shit that runs on Windows, here is Windows 365 for you. Excuse me. The fact that even as a Linux admin, I still have to do things in Windows Active Directory, which means I actually do have access to what is like a very locked down Windows desktop in a browser. This thing actually exists. It's not this specifically, but it's a thing where in our browser, I get access to a couple of Windows applications in Chrome. And that's how I give people access to Linux boxes. I can use a Windows laptop if I wanted to. I actually have one. I actually probably need to grab it and take it back to the office. Actually, I have a couple of machines here I need to take back. But I choose to use this little Windows web application that gives me a small little Windows desktop and a browser, and I just do what I need to in there. So apparently this seems like a more fully functioning version of that, which I didn't realize until just now. So yeah, I mean, I guess they got really good. Like, look, we could put Xboxes in the cloud. Why can't we just put a computer in the cloud? And just
I mean, they've been,
browser?
it's one of those things that they've been low key doing that for a while anyway, right? Like they've had the Exchange server online for a while. Servers have been a thing and all this other stuff. So like them having like cloud services isn't unusual. It just seems like, why would you put the whole OS over there?
I mean, it can't be any worse than, let me see if I can,
like, it's not even like at this point, right? It's not even like a security concern because, like I said, they've had other services in the cloud for like, their like word processing and other like productivity suites and all this other stuff.
I mean,
but it's like, is this necessary?
I mean, it can't be any different than what I'm doing now. Like, I mean, I pulled up a Linux box and a terminal. I wonder if, it would have been great if I actually could have actually got a desktop on this Linux server I'm running. But yeah, like, I'm running this in a browser. I mean, I would rather SSH into it, but I mean, I figure it's like it's an equivalent. People who are running Windows 10 in their browser on XP machines, we compliant. Oh my god! What if that's what they need to do? They need to do the inverse. They need to do the inverse. We need to figure out a way to run Windows XP in a browser, force everybody to Windows 10, at least Windows 10. And for those who want to stay on Windows XP, they can do Windows XP and Windows 365. That's the play. That's the play. Let's see. Windows 365 can stream an instant on-boot experience with full Windows applications on any device. Your cloud-based PC saves its state, so you can switch between devices and platforms seamlessly. This makes the first time that the iPad will be able to run a full desktop operating system with traditional windowing and applications, despite it being possible only through a web browser. So I kind of like that. That's a pretty interesting thing. Like, just have this virtual desktop that I can always use access to. It'll always be in its same state, no matter where I decide to launch it. So I mean, that's a positive, I guess. Sounds good on paper. I hope it's easy to throw up a VM if needed. But see, I wonder if it's being run on, I don't know, maybe, I imagine they'll make this on-prem. Microsoft will be launching Windows 365 on August 2nd, 2021 to businesses of any size. Windows 365 will support Windows 10 at launch and later on will be upgradable to Windows 11. Windows 365 will work in modern web browsers on Macs, iPads, Android devices, and Linux devices. So damn, they're like right around the fucking corner with this. Well, it sure was fleeting. Twitter cancels fleets just months after launch.
Can I be 1,000%
Please, I wouldn't
Clear.
have it any. I don't think we would have it any other way.
Let us be crystal clear, see-through even.
I have not now, nor have I ever been a fan of fleets. When they brought fleets up, I was like, you know what? This is what Insta has done. Insta has done this. Like, Insta has done this. Snapchat does this. That stuff is fine. Because on a platform that truly supports that kind of thing, that makes a lot of sense. Instagram, I get that. I get that on Instagram. Because that's on Instagram. On Twitter, why? Why is this a thing? And I never I did it. I think I did it to see how it felt. It felt dumb. I've never done them again. I might have tried to do one recently to kind of okay, sure. But really and truly, fleets, nobody asked for fleets.
No.
Nobody looked at fleets. I could say this with 100% guarantee. Nobody wanted fleets.
No.
The only person that wanted fleets was Jack Dorsey. He wanted fleets. And then when he saw that fleets was bad, he then pulled fleet. I know some folk that do fleets, that do them, and I look at those fleets and I'm like, oh, that's great, cool, fleets, nice. But most of the time, the fleets that I see are just people's tweets in fleets. It tweet fleets. So the fact that they're getting rid of it meant that you don't stick by your choices. You don't stick by your choices, and as soon as when it doesn't perform the way you think it should perform, even though nobody wanted it.
Well, I mean, that's the other thing. We talked about this when it rolled out. What was this, in November? So it was back in November when this whole thing rolled out. We told y'all then that we did not want this. We didn't want it. We had a list of features that we wanted, and this was not one of them. We said if we wanted stories, we would be on Snapchat and Instagram. We didn't want to be here. Right. But this is not what we're on Twitter for. And I mean, never mind that whole thing about sticking by their choices. It's also a thing of why don't y'all listen to us when we tell you this is what we want? Right. I'm just saying, you have people who are giving you information for free about all the stuff that they want and examples of where it works and what they're looking for, and you just went, but what if we built this completely extraneous feature? And right up there with that is this paid tier of Twitter that they're trying to get people to pick up. Right. See, when we said this, and I'm gonna pull from Sin's notebook. Take your time, Pastor. When we told you we didn't want this, and you gave it to us, and then now you're taking it back because the thing that we told you we didn't want is not popular. You don't even have enough follow through to keep the thing that you decided we should have and keep it in there. You implemented it, and now you're a little butthurt because the thing that we told you that we didn't want is not popular. Because this ain't Instagram. This ain't Snapchat. We don't want this. We said this. We don't want it. And now you're like, sure, we should have it. The time to change it is when we told you we didn't want it. Now, after months of us not wanting it, you've decided that you want to get rid of it. So that means not only do you not give us what we want, you can't even follow through with the things that we don't want. So, Jack, if you're out there, fuck you. And give us the edit button.
He's too busy hanging with Jay-Z over at Square.
Mm-hmm. Fuck Jay too. Jay can get that smoke too.
Someone ain't going to the Rock Nation brunch.
Fuck the Rock Nation brunch. I want to go to my people brunch. I want to brunch with my people. Why would I want to brunch with people that I don't fucking like? I want to brunch with y'all.
Soon.
I want to brunch with
soon, my brother. Soon.
Yeah. Why would I want to brunch with Kevin Hart? Fuck Kevin Hart.
Oh yeah. Okay. You know what? All right. I'm with you. Yeah.
Hello.
I'm here now. I'm here
Hello.
now.
Why would I want to hang out with people? Why would I want to hang out with people that I don't like?
Yeah, we here now. We here now.
Let me brunch with Jesus and Marrow. That's what I want.
But they want to go to the Rock Nation brunch.
They ain't going. Guess what? They ain't gonna get invited. Cause they just talked a lot of smack about the people that's at that brunch.
But this is what I was talking about before. Like, this is where tech companies really need to stay in their fucking lane.
Thank you. That part.
Like, Twitter, we did not need Instagram Reels for Twitter. No. We did not need a Snapchat. We didn't need a TikTok competitor. We did not like.
We don't even need Twitter. We don't even need space. We need Twitter Spaces.
Let Clubhouse be Clubhouse. We like Twitter.
No. Clubhouse can also go.
Well, I mean, I'm saying, like, they don't need to bring in Clubhouse features.
No.
Let Twitter stay in their lane. We like Twitter for what Twitter is. We like you for who you are. You didn't have to change. You could give us the things we asked for, not the shit that we don't care about. We got other apps for that, boo boo.
Like
we'll come back. We'll come back.
I love Twitter. We talked about this something that we need to spend a little bit more time talking about on the show, which is, boy, oh boy, do we need to talk about investments when it comes to infrastructure, because we have so many services that it's a cycle. You have like a group of people who come out with a company, and the company or the service that they do does one thing, but it does that one thing exceptionally well. And then a platform grows and it's like, well, what if we do everything that our competitors are doing too? And it's kind of like, the people that y'all consider competitors aren't even doing the thing that you're doing. You're doing something adjacent to what you're doing. And the people who come to your service want completely different things. Yes! Why are you trying to cannibalize like Instagram or Vine or Clubhouse or any of these things? Like, dear Twitter, we don't need you to be a streaming service. We literally don't.
We don't
have to. Like, there are places that people can go for that. People come here for the one thing. Like, focus on the core audience you have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so you have that, and then you have like a service that just gets so big and bloated that no one wants to deal with it. And what they do is they end up going to rival companies or services that specialize in doing a thing really well. And people are just like, isn't it nice that I can just go here for the one thing I want to do and not have to deal with 50 other things that get in the way of me trying to do the one thing?
Right. Like TikTok.
Attention to Menlo Park. Look what happened to the company there. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like,
I love that. Yeah.
Y'all, there's something to be said about the power. There's something about the power of just knowing what your lane is and staying there, moisturized, unbothered, flourishing, and vibing straight through, reaping the benefits of an unproblematic life.
And so, like, this brings me back to what we were talking about earlier when Tycho mentioned like the article he put in the game channel. Netflix, we don't need you to be the Netflix of games. We don't need you to make video games. Make your mediocre content on the platform, because what's going to happen is you're going to start opening up these studios, start making these games. My Netflix subscription is going to go up. I don't want that shit. Fuck that shit. No. Just look, if you want to do something for me, bring The Office back.
Yeah.
Say fuck Peacock, bring The Office, bring Parks and Rec back.
Like,
Parks and Rec, I can agree with.
Like, all I want from Netflix is to be able to watch my Saint Seiya, Knights of the Zodiac 3D revival series, Beastars, Nailed It, and Sexy Beasts when it come out. Yeah, that's all I want.
It's one of those things where, in a time when they have access to more information than ever before about the things that people want and the platforms that they want them from, why don't companies just do what is right in front of them to do? I understand I understand the concept of like innovation, perhaps. You being like, people are trying to get from here to here in our service, but they don't seem to be able to get there. How can we bring something new to the table that lets them do that and a little bit beyond? But y'all are doing that. You're making bad, bloated copies of other people's work. Stop it. Please stop. No one. I am not trying to be a Netflix partner. We're not out here trying to like play games on this thing. We're really not. That's what I have Steam for. Right? We're not trying to do all that. People want to go to Netflix because your brand for years has been associated with people being able to watch things. Like, right? That's what we're here for.
That's
like,
what I thought.
Like y'all don't need to be a whole gaming studio. You really do not need to do that. And I would love to know who did the analysis that said this is a good idea. Like this would actually make us money.
They put out fucking Bandersnatch and it's like, oh shit. People actually like that. Yeah, they liked it because it was a novel choose your own adventure shit, not because it was a fucking video game. Please don't do this. Don't do this. Tech companies, please stay in your fucking lane. Please and thank you.
Firmly affixed to the lane.
Thank you, and thank you, LeVar Ball. Yeah, it's LeVar Ball for providing us with that phrase. Big Baller Brand still selling things.
I'm sure they are.
What's happening? I want to know what's going on with LeVar Ball. Oh shit, we forgot to talk about that thing after we wrapped up one of those articles.
The thing?
Before we talk about Apple's workplace, we should talk about what happened to that guy who said he wasn't going to leave when he got fired.
Oh, that guy.
Let's scroll back up real quick. See if I can.
Ooh wee. When I tell you the levels.
Trump appointee Andrew Saul said he coming to work after being fired by Biden from the Social Security Administration. But the threat fell flat when he tried to log on to a government system on Monday and found out his access revoked.
See what the Lord has done. See what the Lord has done.
When the Lord says yes.
Count your many blessings. See what the Lord has done.
Trump appointed Social Security Commissioner Andrew Saul kicked up a major stink when he was fired by the Biden administration, vowing to carry on with his job whether the president liked it or not. But that threat almost immediately fell flat when he tried to log on to government systems as usual on Monday, only to find that his access has obviously been revoked. I'm here to do my job, but I can't do anything with the communication shut down, Saul said in impotent whine to the Washington Post. Saul, who is 74, said he was shocked to be fired in what he described as a palace coup last week and threatened that he continue his work as the duly confirmed Social Security Commissioner. However, his acting successor, Biden appointee Kalolo Kazakazi, I am so sorry if I butchered your name there, has already taken over.
What do I say?
Play stupid games with stupid prizes.
Now, over here, this is where we just look at you and just go, this is you being like, honey, your white privilege only applies to people who aren't also white. You really trying to run up on the president of the United States said,
a white man?
You can't tell me what I'm about to do. And he said, bet. This is what happens when you like try to run your mouth, but you don't know how technology works. It's a key card. It takes 10 minutes for people to be like, you don't even exist.
Just take that, just delete that off of
I'm just like, my dude, have you ever tried using Salesforce or Okta logins when you can't find your phone?
Ooh. Ruin says, I hope the IT department had a lamp. Man, I'd be like,
you know they did.
Yes, Social Security IT department, how can I help you? Yes, Mr. Saul, let me check on that. Says you have been fired. I understand. But yeah, no. Can I reactivate you? No, it says you're fired. Nope. I'm sorry. I can't. I don't have the clearance. I don't have the clearance of the President of the United States to give you your job back. Sir, look, you can use all the obscenities in the world, but you ain't getting your job back. And then I can do for you. I can call security.
You know something? it wouldn't even be all that, because you know that you have like a little log record of every time someone tries to swipe a card if you're in the security department. I just be sitting there like, Major, come over. He's trying to get in the door.
What? Look at this. But
yeah, like, all right, so
line after line,
Fred,
appearing on the
Fred,
log of them trying to do it. I would have called the whole department and just sit there and be like,
look at that.
God,
He's
like,
trying
just
to log
give
in
me
the
2
account.
minutes
Look
real
at
quick
this.
before you go to this meeting. Just 2 minutes real quick.
Look, no, it's like, especially if you hated this motherfucker, like, he called us, oh, your card's not working? Look, try to swipe it again. Oh, that didn't work? Oh, let me try it again.
Rub the strip on your shirt.
Try it again.
Try it again. Okay. Put it in a plastic bag, and then swipe it again.
Yeah, what he said.
No, I legit would have said, you know what? I don't know what's happening with the card. It might take us a while to figure out. You want to just come back tomorrow? Just take the day off and come back tomorrow, just so I can see you do that.
But see, all right. So you mentioned the card type. Like, my thing is like, how easy is it to get into his office to where he tried this? Like, he tried logging into a computer, or was he trying to work from home? Like, I imagine, like, he'd have been stopped at the door.
Yeah.
Like, if you could just walk into the Social Security Administration, I got questions.
I'm trying to, like, the funnier would be is if he'd have, like, strolled up with his briefcase and his thing, like, morning, Fred, and then tried to scan in, and he couldn't get scanned in. But typically, probably what happened is he was at home, tried to log in, remotely, and then they were like, nah, fam, this ain't gonna work. Nah, fam. Nah, you've been bounced. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Oh no, ruin. He wasn't trying to log in from anywhere. He was trying to use a key card to get his stuff.
Oh, he was trying to use the key card?
He was trying to use. He was going to work. Oh,
no, he was trying to. I'm trying to. Let me look this up to make double score here, but I think he was.
It's right here because I'm on the Washington Post article.
Okay.
Quote, I'm here to do the job. In quote, Saul said from his home from Canada.
Okay, so he was at home
where he had led the agency since the coronavirus pandemic forced most operations shift to March 2020 to remote work.
I mean, okay,
but I
that's
didn't do anything with communication shutdown.
Okay,
so he was trying to log in from home.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking though. But man, if he went to work, boy.
There is a video on the tweet that I sent that has a person like hollering in laughter, and it's perfect.
Oh, yeah.
I like the. I like the one. My favorite is the one where the dude's laughing as he's getting into the limousine, and then he just hits the button where the door closes, and he's like, like, not only am I laughing at you as I get into the car, but I'm not even gonna reach back to pull the car in. I'm just gonna hit a button. I'll sway.
There was one where they showed Jamal Adams, I guess, of the Jets, formerly of the Jets. I don't know, but he was trying to get into the practice facility for the Jets, and his car wouldn't work. So I guess I got traded, huh? Or no, I guess I got cut.
Time to call my agent.
But I ain't gonna lie. Every time my car, like, I'm afraid that every day I try my car and it won't work. So damn, did they fire me?
They ain't gonna fire you. They're gonna be like, Major, come back.
So nah, y'all tried it. What gets me though, like somebody, like I see the Costanza gives, and like there was that one episode of Seinfeld where he got fired, where they didn't fire him, but they were trying to get him to leave.
Right.
So one of the things they did is they removed his door and like just put a whole bunch of wood, like the plywood over it, so he couldn't get in. He crawled in through a vent, called the secretary and said, look, if the boss needs me, tell him I'm in my fucking office.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Every time I think about that, I also think about Office Space, where my man's like, He's like, dude, I'm cleaning fish at the cubicle. He caught fish. He didn't go to work that day. Came back with fish. Came back late because he was fishing. Brought the fish to the office. Gutted him in the cubicle.
It's about time I watched that movie again.
Yes. Especially now.
In more tech workplace news, Apple employees say they will leave the company as it denies remote work requests.
This is where
I feel that energy so much.
This is where I say, I recall something from earlier, and I say, I sure do hate owning an iPhone right now.
Oh, Cupertino. Oh, Tim Apple.
I'm gonna get back to you on that one.
Tim Apple.
So I have some feelings and some spice on this article. 90% of the workforce wanted to be remote. Most of them were covered by the American Disabilities Act because this was considered a medical accommodation for them. And Apple has decided to say, if we get to the point that we just decide to just full on demand that people be at the office, that doesn't cover you. And if you claim medical accommodations, we will then counterclaim you have 30 days to find another job.
Ooh.
On Disability Pride Month, the way I'm tired, it's so...
Timothy Appel, what are you doing, my friend?
So, if I could get, like, all the fuck apples in chat, with me having a company that is, like, Apple-centered as far as ecosystems and everything else, but, like... Oh, my God.
I can sit here and say, I love the technology. Like, look, the employees of Apple, the actual people who are making the shit are dope. The people who are making these decisions, though, these decisions right here, nah, fuck them motherfuckers.
I'm going to say this and say right here. The Verge was told that the company has been asking for medical records to decide if all employees will be approved to work from home, which, according to them, made some people uncomfortable.
They can't ask for that, right?
Yep. The fact that I will never call this man his actual full name.
Like, it's just one
Tim
of
Apple
these
forever.
things. It's just one of these things of being like, there are medical records and things like that, but they have an HR department and confidentiality agreements and stuff for a reason. You realize that information is protected information by federal fucking law. But not them having a whole ass argument in a Slack channel. Who are currently on an Americans with Disabilities Act accommodation can work from home. However, if Apple decides to return to the office permanently, the accommodation will be denied. Mind you, they're not talking about people who are applying for them. They're talking about people who got
worked there,
approved for them.
And it's weird how this kind of flies in the face. Like, there was other reports saying that Apple was trying to modify their hiring to try to bring in more people who necessarily don't live near Cupertino or in San Francisco. But yeah, like, how does that work if you aren't allowing for remote work, though? Because the closest Apple facility here is a data center in I think Murfreesboro or some shit in North Carolina. I mean, granted, they're supposed to be building a campus. They're supposed to be opening up a campus here in RTP in the next few years, but it ain't here yet.
And so, mind you, it's denying people who want to work from home fully remote, as opposed to this hybrid model they want to introduce, where people come in for, like, out of a 5-day work week, they come in for 3 out of those 5 days. And it's a specific 3 out of 5. And it's like, for what reason? For what reason? If these people, listen, we know how capitalism works around here. We know how quickly y'all love to fire people. If people weren't producing at the level that you needed them to produce, or functioning at the level you need them to function, or performing at the level you need them to perform, you would have fired them already. So it's not like it's a work-related thing. What do you need these people in the office for?
The secrets. They don't want you to know what's in the new iPhone.
Also, here, could someone humor me by this? Let's say that you do get all these people in the office. What regulations are you going to have to make sure that these people are safe and not spreading the pandemic around, or spreading any of the variants around, or making sure they're properly spaced out in the office, or any of those things? What are we doing for those? Quickly. ASAP. No Rocky.
I currently don't have an answer for that.
No, not one. No, not one.
Not y'all out here about to be base camp fucking part 2 when you don't have to be.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, isn't it an Apple product, Basecamp?
I feel like no. That's like it's like 34 signals or something like that.
That's right. What am I thinking? I'm thinking boot camp. My bad. Carry on.
No, it's fine. It's just like, what haven't y'all learned about this pandemic? Here, let me remove my glasses so that you can see my facial expressions. What haven't y'all learned about this pandemic? Have we not made it clear to y'all, with the amount of restaurants closed, the fact that the newspaper almost shut down, among other things, that we will just fucking leave? And y'all keep acting like, oh, we can just replace you, or other people will be desperate for jobs. I don't think you understand. Hundreds of thousands of people have died. People have lost like a whole year's worth of time. We will burn your building to the ground, and or leave it an empty, desiccated version of what it was, devoid of people, and we will watch you crumble. We don't have like any fucks left. Why do you keep playing in our faces?
See, you say burning to the ground. Now this has nothing to do with anything, but I'm wondering, how easy would that burn? Like, it's nothing but glass.
Oh, so it'll probably melt. Which is decidedly worse.
Yeah, I'd say. But yeah, I love the tech. I think the people who make the tech are dope. But yeah, like the policy decisions, like capitalism just fucking sucks. Like it just.
Can I get an amen in chat for that?
It just fucking sucks.
Man.
I'm so glad that I was in the Discord server today and somebody mentioned socialism light, because that's about where I am right now. This is what we need.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying get rid of capitalism completely, but yeah, the level that we're at now, yeah, you need a whole bag of dicks.
Yeah, I'm more in line to not letting corporations totally, take every bit of money that we have away from us, and actually pay in to these social safety nets that actually do save people's lives. That's what I'm about. Like, I'm not saying like companies can't make money. I'm just saying like, yo, y'all need to pay more taxes, and
I mean, hey, if
you need to pay your people more money.
Look,
like
the Fox News pundits, I think it was Tucker Carlson, said that the companies that benefited from the pandemic should pay more to help people get back to normal. Was it? Oh, so Tucker Carlson believes in socialism now? Okay,
sounds about right to me.
I cannot say the things that I feel about Tucker Carlson and still be adherent.
Oh, you mean Tuckums?
To the Twitch terms of service, and therefore I will not say them.
Yeah, that's what Joanne calls them, Tuckums. Oh, Tuckums. I love that.
It's been amazing to watch during the pandemic, seeing how many conservatives are starting to turn socialist, and not realize that's what they're doing.
Not realize.
It's about time y'all got here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, y'all just got here? Hey, AOC's looking like, hey, glad to see you. I'm so glad you got here.
Here's your NPR/PBS toad.
Here's your tote bag, and
The
yeah,
Whole Foods
I'm
is
so
to your
glad.
left.
Whole Foods to your left. The co-op is down the street.
Here's your free
Uh,
Tesla.
Here's your free Tesla, and welcome aboard.
Y'all ready for some gaming news now?
Yes, sir.
Kev, I got something for you.
Wait a minute. Did
Ooh,
we
what you
talk
got?
about? Did we talk about the Wi-Fi issue?
Wi-Fi issue?
Mm-hmm.
The iOS 14.7 beta and that weird screen, that weird SSID thing?
Yep.
Yeah, that
Okay,
was at the
we
top.
did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say, like, just here, listen. I feel like these things are problems that only hackers have, but listen, in case I need to explain this to y'all ever, do not take a symbol that's used in code and ever log into the Wi-Fi for that thing. Like, if you see an SSID that has like a literal thing that is used for parsing punctuation in the middle of your browser address, maybe don't.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
If you see the modular symbol, maybe not.
But at least they don't have to worry about that. 14.7, iOS 14.7 will be out soon. They won't have to worry about it.
Okay. There is one article I'm particularly ready for you to explore, so I'm gonna hush and let you do that.
All right. Kev, remember we talked last week about because Bethesda's releasing the game on PS5, will it show up on PC Game Pass if it's not going to show up on Xbox?
Right.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
Uh-oh.
PS5 time console exclusive Deathloop won't hit Xbox until at least September 2022, which is something we knew. But according to this article from Eurogamer, they're saying that because of that, it may not even hit Game Pass until then.
Okay.
So, as much as I was hoping and dreaming and praying, it does not look like I'm going to get this free on Game Pass on day one.
Right.
But it bums me out. It bums me out a little bit.
But bright side is that you'll have a little extra, some wiggle room for all the other games that's probably going to be coming out.
I mean, yes, but this also means that I might just buy the game.
Are you talking about Deathloop here?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh
okay.
yeah.
So here, notes for that one. So for you, those of y'all who are just like, there's a reason why that deal is exclusive, which you would be like, how are you exclusive to Sony when the company that made it now belongs to like Microsoft, right?
Because it was exclusive before the Microsoft deal.
Yep.
They announced that years ago.
So basically, they had a ZeniMax merger, right? Well, they had a merger with ZeniMax, which would have bought the company that had Deathloop, but Sony got the exclusive in before they had that merger, and it's not like they could take it back. So they just said,
yeah, I mean, like I think Phil Spencer got out and said, like, look, whatever is existing is going to exist. Like Ghostwire Tokyo, like that game has been delayed, but that is also coming to PlayStation. Well, actually, that's a PlayStation exclusive.
Right.
I don't know if it's timed exclusive now, but at least at the time of its announcement, it was a PlayStation exclusive title.
Right. So basically, if games have existed on platforms before, it's multi-platform.
Yeah, like
if it's
Minecraft.
new, if it's new and not necessarily promised on XYZ Elemental P systems, then that's Xbox.
Yeah.
All day. So like Starfield is now like a PC and Xbox exclusive, but because it was announced, but it was never announced for like multi-platform consoles. Like
I feel like if it was, Starfield was not announced for any platforms. They said, hey, we're just making Starfield.
Right.
Games like Elder Scrolls, you knew that was going to be multi-platform. It always has been.
Right.
It's just that now, because it's now that they're under Xbox, it's no longer multi-platform, or technically multi-platform, just not coming out for PlayStation platforms, and probably not Nintendo, because Bethesda loves trying to put everything on everything.
Yeah, If you're like Doom or Wolfenstein, yeah, you're probably gonna be on the Switch. Not saying will it run? Not the best, but it'll be on it. It'll be there. Um. So, but I'm like, do you think Elder Scrolls 6 would be? This is basically like spitballing. But do you think Elder Scrolls 6 would come out on multi-platform?
Yes. Xbox and PC.
I like the way you think, sir.
Multi-platform. Y'all ain't see that shit coming.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I see it.
That shit is not coming off of PlayStation. It's
PS5,
not.
PS5 be damned.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's at a point. Like, I think what it was for me, because like, yeah, I held out hope that maybe, like, because Phil Spencer left that door open.
Right.
But what really hit it for me is like Starfield. It's like, no, fuck that. Like, it's almost like Phil Spencer left that door open at the time of acquisition. But when more information for Starfield came out during E3, they were like, fuck that. No, anything that's fucking Game Pass. What the hell? What the hell were y'all thinking? Y'all stupid.
Here's the wild part, right? When we see because we know they had Obsidian because they did like the Outer Worlds, which was their Fallout, and they were like dabbling with Avowed, which is Obsidian's version of Elder Scrolls. Would be like it's implied that it's Obsidian's version of Elder Scrolls. Now they have Elder Scrolls and they have Fallout. So it's like we got both the copy and the OG under the blanket of Xbox.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna just Tycho's comment here. So what's going to happen now is Sony and Microsoft and maybe Valve and Epic are going to hoover up all the studios and IPs they control just so they can dangle that as an exclusive when the shit was supposed to be multiple. No, that will never happen because there are too many publishers that are bigger than these fucking platforms.
Right.
Activision Blizzard, EA, Ubisoft, Take-Two, they're going to fuck that shit. Fuck you. We'll buy the console before you buy us.
Right. They'll make multi-platform games. Like with the thing
money. That's too much money that gets cut out if they did that.
Now they might do like partnerships where games will come out on Game Pass, which will make, some games might come out on.
But like, they will still sell on PC and PlayStation and Nintendo.
Right. They will do that. They'll be like Xbox will make the deal to be like, hey yo, throw it on Game Pass for like 3 years, whatevs. And they'll do that, but it's still gonna be multi-platform. It's just with these games that these studios that they have acquired, that's where we're trying to parse out. Will there be multi-platform deals? Will games come out on PlayStation and Nintendo consoles, or will it just be Xbox and PC? Now, Xbox has a good deal with Steam, and I think just Steam, not really Epic, right?
Xbox, they don't have anything to do with Steam. I mean, they put their games on Steam, but that's about it.
I'm just saying games will be on Steam. Not just Game Pass or the Microsoft Store. But I'm saying like they'll be on different PC platforms. Like Steam, like a platform like Steam or possibly Epic. But it ain't coming to no PlayStation. Not coming to PlayStation. Like, so if you just say I don't like Game Pass and I don't like Microsoft, the Game Pass, whatever, you can still say fine. But I like PC, but I don't like Game Pass, which I don't know. Why would you think that? Why would you feel that way?
There's some people who don't believe in the hype.
Who don't believe in it.
Shout out to Andrew Alliance, who was once a person who did not like Game Pass, but has since subbed. But there are people out there.
Yeah. So I could definitely see people being like, yo, I want to get these games, but I want to get these games on Steam. So that's why I am very I'm very like glad that Xbox has a good rapport with Steam, so so they'll be like, okay, we'll have our games on Game Pass, but then we also sell these games on Steam, and they'll work on Steam.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like, I don't see Steam buying up anybody because it would not
No.
benefit them to do it.
No.
Valve, Steam makes money regardless. They're good.
Right.
Like, it would not make any sense for them to buy any publishers or devs like that. In Epic, like, again, like, they have the fucking Unreal Engine. Like, all of the games just run on fucking Unreal anyway. So it's a thing of like, sure, maybe, but they don't need to. Why make unnecessary work? Also, given the fact that, Epic is technically owned by somebody else too, so what the fuck are they gonna do? Tencent maybe. Tencent might do this. Epic won't, but Tencent would.
Tencent might.
What's this new group? The Embracer Group that's out here buying up fucking devs and publishers?
Why does that sound like a Cobra company? Why does it sound like Cobra?
It sounds like some fucking shell corporation. I swear it does.
Y'all said Tencent wouldn't do anything you asked them for a Klondike bar.
Yeah. Like Embrace Group sounds like something like Tomat and Zaymot would buy.
Welcome to the Embrace.
My God.
Yeah,
welcome to the Embrace Zaibatsu.
Embrace.
It sounds like a fake ass corporation in a video game that's destroying humanity through capitalism.
Yeah.
Oh, Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm kind of bummed. I'm bummed by this. The fact that I can't skirt around. I can't skirt around the exclusivity with Game Pass, but yeah, I mean, look, I was already planning to buy this on PC anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not gonna wait till September 22 to play Deathloop. I can't.
No.
Like a game with black characters, a black protagonist, a black antagonist. Like, look, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just go.
Hand clap of praise for that.
Like I don't play many Bethesda games, but seeing this was like, you know what? I might try it with this one, just because I feel slightly seen in it. Hey, remember that Titanfall 2 issue from last week where all those hackers were, causing trouble, because of a DDoS issue? And you also know how people just say the quiet thing out loud? Titanfall 2 servers hit by hackers. Respawn has 1 to 2 people working on a security fix.
When I tell you,
dear hackers, seriously, can you just let us have nice things, please?
No, nope. Pull it back. We're not here for the hackers today. We're here for fucking Respawn. We're here for fucking Respawn.
The fact that Respawn.
One, I would like the hackers to let us have nice things, but also I read this article and it's kind of like we can't really deal with the major security issue here because everybody's working on like
Apex.
What are you working on?
Apex.
There's literally nothing more important.
Apex. Look, that's to say, like, look, we gave hacker shit last time. Now it's time for us to go after our beloved developers, Respawn, for saying the quiet part out loud.
Because I wouldn't even say that. I would never divulge that. Remember, I think what was that thing we were talking about where I think it was like it was a story we read about them being, not candid, but them being open about a breach. Something to that effect. And we were like, no, you don't need to say that. You don't need to say that until you have something to say.
Yeah.
Until you understand. Like when they were like, it was the fact that they were hacked and nobody ever says that they're hacked until they have confirmed a breach and how many people are affected.
Well,
we never really.
With Capcom telling you.
Capcom.
We were hacked. But boy, it just keeps getting worse every time we open our mouths.
Yeah, it was like literally like you don't say anything until you got something to say.
Or at least say, hey, we've been breached, we've been hacked. Just make sure your shit is okay and secure.
Right.
Do not give a postmortem until you have completed the postmortem.
Exactly. Until you have acknowledged, until you have ascertained the amount of the breach.
On the one hand, I appreciate the transparency. On the other hand, you got two people, bitch. Where?
What? How?
Or like the print nightmare stuff from a couple of weeks ago. You know, I'm not sure where that lack of communication came from, but yeah, let's not post the exploit, the proof of concept on GitHub before we've had the time to patch it.
Right. So you talk about that stuff after you patched it.
Yeah, 90 days. Come on, what are we doing here?
Mm-hmm.
So, was it Jason Garza, their community manager? They did a stream addressing the issue, saying that, hey, we've got people working on it, but also saying, quote, we only have 1 or 2 people on it because everyone else is on Apex.
Yep.
Respawn.
Yes.
We love you. You're one of the reasons why EA's come out of whatever shit they were in and has been replaced by either Activision Blizzard on one side or Ubisoft on the other, depending on, you know, who's putting what in what. Respawn. The fuck are y'all doing? Y'all were right there. So close. But you fumbled the bag on that one. What are we doing?
You never fumbled the bag.
You never fumbled the bag on that. What?
You never like say what my mama always said, like, you never let your right hand know what your left hand doing. You don't do that. You don't tell people your business. This house business. Don't be telling your house business. Tell them, hey, we working on the fix. It's gonna take a while because, you know, we working on it. We you know, we working on it. Don't tell me you got 1, 2 people working on it. Don't tell me. I don't care who them 1, 2 people is. It's still 1, 2 people.
Also, you know, there's something to be said about, are you sure you want the hackers to know that? Because it's not like this is is not public info now.
Be like, yes, less is not always more, especially in IT.
Well, more is not always more. Don't tell us shit you don't gotta tell us.
Yeah, exactly. Don't be telling nobody. Don't be telling everybody house business. What is y'all doing? What is y'all doing? Hello?
Respawn. You were the chosen one. Alright, so for some good news.
Yay.
Summer Games Done Quick has raised $2.9 million for Doctors Without Borders or Médecins Sans Frontières over the course of a week.
And clap of praise.
The annual event has been another massive success, with the final figure coming in at over $2,294,585, over 40,000 donations. The GDQ team dropped a huge $250,000 into the tracker towards the end of the marathon, raised from money from sponsors, Twitch subscriptions, and other miscellaneous amounts, pushing the total up to over $2.5 million at the time. Thanks to that sum, which is the highest figure a Summer Games Done Quick has ever achieved, the grand total raised for charities by the end, by the event, now stands at an eye-watering $34 million. That's 7 years in a row that the event has earned over $1 million for its chosen charity, and the figure ticked over the magic number during a particularly tight Pokemon Black and White race too.
For Doctors Without Borders, I believe was their cause for this year, yeah?
Yep.
Nice.
Médecins Sans Frontières.
We love to see it. We do.
We love to see it.
And more hacker news involving EA.
Ooh.
Oh, this one's kind of funny.
It is very. It really is. Like again, when I said like, look, we had some. I told Kev before we started, so look, we had some breaking news come in like right before the show started. Apple was one of them. This is the other one. Hackers begin leaking stolen data after Vice refused to help them blackmail EA.
Okay, can we just talk about this for a second? This whole thing is burying the lead. Yo, let me talk about this article for a second. Gather around. They didn't even say a thing about actual Vice, and they didn't even talk about Vice proper. They talked about their parent company, Motherboard.
No.
In the article, and like the
Vice
last
is the Vice is the
Motherboard.
Vice is the company. Motherboard is the subsidiary.
Okay.
Motherboard is the
So-
tech arm of Vice.
Oh,
So
okay.
they said, because they didn't even mention Vice in the article, they specifically mentioned Motherboard, which they could have just put here. But okay, so
Oh no, it says Motherboard
Hackers-
Vice's tech section.
so this is kind of like hackers began leaking stolen data after this happened. That's not what happened. According to the article, as it is written, that's not what happened. So,
Wait, I'm sorry.
The
You said
T.
what now?
like they said, like after Vice refused it, like the title here, right? On the doc, which is kind of like, hey, Vice refused to help these hackers blackmail EA. So therefore these hackers began leaking stolen data. And I'm like, that's not what happened.
I mean, so what did? Because according to this article, what is the chain here? Because according to this article, they're saying that the hackers hacked EA, tried to extort them. EA said "fuck you." Then they tried to get Motherboard to do it. Motherboard said "fuck you," and then after that, they started leaking the data.
So, well, like here's the thing, right? It said, so from what the article says here, hackers breached EA. They made off with the source code of FIFA of all fucking things.
Well, the Frostbite engine too.
And the Frostbite engine. Right? And then tried to extort them.
Also, before we scoff at FIFA actually is EA's highest selling title.
No, I mean, I'm well aware. It's just like, y'all really? Like, it's one of those, when I imagine someone breaking into like a bank, I imagine them going for like jewels, the diamonds, the gold bars. And it's kind of like, they like stole like a couple of bags of like $100 bills. And I'm like, I mean, okay, but also,
I mean, FIFA is the moneymaker.
I mean, I guess. So they were just
if
like,
you can figure out how Ultimate Team works and just start spoofing Ultimate Team cards and start selling that shit.
It was just like, we're gonna start leaking your data if you don't, like give us the things. And it was like, bitch, please. It's hit my fucking mentions. What do you mean? We've already made the money that we want to make off of this, and honestly, it's not like people are ever like we're worried about people picking up leaked versions of this game. The people committed to buying this are gonna continue to buy it. We're fine. Mary had a little lamb or whatever. Do what you gonna do, and all right. So it's like, if you don't contact us or pay us, we'll start posting some stuff. I'll start posting the source. And then Motherboard saw a copy of the cache that was in there, right? And so I'm like, from what I can read in this article, Motherboard was like, "Hey, yo, EA," and EA's like, "Nah, they good. Like, we're not. We are unbothered."
No, Motherboard didn't. Motherboard may have contacted and said, "Hey, do you know they're hacking? Did you know you've been hacked?" And he was like, "Yeah, we know."
There's like, we good.
Whatever. Do you?
No, like this is where it's kind of like, where we send an email for a ransom. If we don't get anything, we're gonna be posting the source or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't contact us or pay us, we're gonna keep posting it. Motherboard peeps that like things are being released or what have you, and it's just like, yo, EA is like, whatever, we good. And then they say, hey, motherboard, can you please take this index card to your friends? We want you to know they said serious biz on the card and like red crayons said tell them we mean it.
But see, what I think is, I don't think that they leaked it. I think they just like gave motherboard. Like,
it
hey,
doesn't even look like
real. We're for real. We did do this. Here it is. If you want proof, go check with EA and see what they say. Okay, now the motherboard verified that it's true. There's like, okay, see now
they saw a copy of it released by the hackers, but it's also like, did the hackers give that to them directly?
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I think it happened. That's what I think had happened when the hackers wanted motherboard to help them extort EA.
No, it's just like we've already put out a piece. We'll put out more if you don't help us. Like, I feel like that would have been the more likely case, which also makes this hilarious. We've already put out a little bit. We could put out the whole thing. We could drop it right now. You better tell your friends. And motherboard was like,
have fun with that? I mean, dog, what do you want me to do?
They're just like, one, child, that's not my circus. And two, they already know. They said they're not paying you. Why do you think they're gonna pay you if I tell them? Like, have you ever had some you're just like, did your mama say no? Yeah, so what are you asking me for? If your mama said no, what makes you think she's gonna say yes to me? Bye, get out of here.
You just struck the chord of every parent listening to this show, including me.
This is like,
that's what they just said. Like, your mama just said, no, I don't know what to tell you, kid.
This is like by far like the worst like extortion plot out here. You know, like this is by far like, I mean, this is just embarrassing. You know, it's like
imagine you being a hacker. It's like, you need to take me seriously. Like you're over here typing like, hold on for a moment. Let me type this in chat real quick.
It's like hackers the blog hackers. We hacked EA. Tell them. Yeah, blog. We know you hacked them. We're not telling. They told us we're not paying you. Now what? Oh.
Fear me.
And when we took the source code, it was like, look, I'm just imagining EA just sitting in a lounge chair with like in a smoking jacket, just lounging on like the shores of Aruba.
Andrew Wilson with his like British accent, like, yeah. Yes, we're not paying you.
No, they just said, it was like, hey, we have your source code. You know something? You sure did. Congratulations. That had to be kind of hard to get into. Mm-hmm. We're gonna distribute it. Mm-hmm, you sure are. I bet you are. Can I have like another? Yes, another one of those.
Yes, I would like
on the rocks.
Yes, I would like. Yeah, I would like the 12-year Scotch. Yes, on the rocks.
And it's just like, we're gonna leak this. You know that, right? You know something? You are absolutely right. You sure are. I totally believe you. Did you want anything?
Damn it! Now y'all making me think about that damn Bentley I saw today.
And you're just gonna like, they're just sitting here, just yes.
A fine vintage.
No, they're just like, oh no, like, God, I'm sorry. I know that you are being serious and professional adults. Hey, I'm trying not to laugh in their face. Could you imagine being a hacker who did all this only to have people laugh in your fucking face? They're just like, no, we're fine. We'll monitor it or whatever.
Did they get any sensitive data? No. The fuck they doing it?
Just some game stuff? Oh. Just some game stuff?
Just the source code?
What did they do? I mean, they downloaded the game and like the publishing engine. Oh, okay, girl, just fix that or whatever.
Like, child, you are no different. You are no different than one of them dudes who literally put like games on like put the game on like a torrent site.
Pirate Bay.
Yeah, you're no different.
Excuse me while I drive my Bentley through this McDonald's.
Like, I'm just sitting here imagining these like hackers trying to be like super important and puff their chest that he just does not care. They literally said, we've made enough money from this game that we don't have to care that you did that.
It's like we could pay the like we could afford to pay the ransom, but
we could pay the ransom, or we could just tell you to go fuck yourself for free.
Well, like, It's literally it would be a loss of money for us to pay you. You can just have it.
Right. It would not. It's the whole.
And he says, like, if anything, y'all should be paying me to care that you hacked it.
It's the whole like the thing that I hear sometimes where the argument like if Bill Gates if Bill Gates drops like $100 on the ground, it would cost him more money to stop and pick it up than it would to just walk away after dropping it. It's that I feel like it's kind of that situation.
It's that energy.
Yeah.
It sure is.
It's that energy of like, look, I could sue you. I could, cease and desist. I could pay you, but I'm not gonna do. We've assessed that you didn't get anything major, and if you did, we will cross that bridge when we get to it. But in the meantime, between time, we just gonna say no.
Look,
we are.
All of this is that Pez.
No, they said, child, they got hit with an out of office message. They got hit with like an aim away message.
They got hit
like 2002.
They got hit with the doo doo doo. We're sorry.
Look, Mario Strikers. All that's going to happen now is that Mario Strikers is going to look fucking dope.
Yeah.
And that Call of Duty will have Levolution in it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Like, congratulations, you got Battlefield Bad Company.
You know something?
Let's go.
Do not often, and I will. This will probably be the first and one of very few, if not only, times.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations,
I am ever going to say something positive about EA, but the way that this was handled,
mm-hmm.
I mean, that's it.
That was a masterclass of. I don't care.
To sneak it in here though, CD Projekt Red also did the same thing,
mm-hmm.
and nobody cared. Nobody really
cared. Nobody cared. It was like
there was some data there was some news articles that came out of it, but nobody fucking cared that they got hacked.
Yeah, CD was like, "Yo, we got so many things we have to deal with.
Yeah,
we don't have time. We literally don't have time. Whatever." It was more like I'm rushing to get my things so we can have dinner. That was the kind of thing. Like, I am struggling with 3 or 4 different things. I don't have time. I really don't have time to deal with it.
Yeah.
I'm not paying you, but I have no time to deal with you.
Oh, and speaking of CD Projekt Red, shout out to them coming back to PlayStation and apparently still fucking cleaning up.
Again, making money.
People still want that broken ass game.
Right.
I don't know why they want it on PlayStation 4, but you know what? Have fun with that.
Mm-hmm. Live your dream.
Speaking of things that should not play games, but apparently it will because of things.
Oh, that's a stretch.
Yeah. This week's top story. The Steam Deck is here, or will be in December. Listen,
when I tell you, I had to think about this. I seen this. I had to think about it. I like most things. I'm like, it's not for me. But I was like, I could make this work. Like, if this thing could do 1080, we found out.
Yeah, it will not.
It will not.
It will not.
But for its, but that's basically doing the screen size. But if it could do this and 1080p, like if it could do like 60 frames of whatever that is, then that's a blessing. And I look forward to that. Like, and I think this in itself makes a little bit more sense. Thusly, because you already we all have I think I can't speak for Major, can't speak for Sin, but I can speak for me. I got a big ass Steam collection, like Steam game collection, and with games, and especially with games that I bought and review copies and beta copies, that thing has exploded. And the ability to play Dorfromantik on the couch would be an awesome thing into itself. Like, I ain't talking about no graphically intensive game. I'm just talking about the same, like, chill games that I usually play. On that is a blessing. So, yes.
Give me 1 second here. I'm trying to see if I can find some information.
I'm legit considering it. Because I'm like,
I don't. What? I just signed into this damn website. Are you? You know what? Fuck it. Just fuck all of this. I'm tired now.
You pull the link up. Pull the Stream Deck link.
No, I got the Steam Deck up. I was looking for information about games. Because I was trying to show a comparison, but if I can't pull up my Steam library, it doesn't matter as much anymore. So yeah, the Steam Deck gaming handheld starting at $399 for the 64 gigabyte with eMMC storage. This handheld will run on a custom APU from Valve and AMD, based off of the Zen 2 architecture. So similar architecture that's found in your PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles, but not as powerful. Let's just get that out there.
Yeah, four cores, I think 8 threads.
Yes, 4-core, 8-thread, ranging from 2.4 to 3.5 gigahertz and running RDNA 2 graphics with 8 compute units running at 1.0 to 1.6 gigahertz. The APU will run between 4 watts and 15 watts. There's also 16 gigabytes of LP DDR5 RAM. And a high-speed micro SD slot. As the title mentions, the RDNA 2 is capable of over 60 FPS at 1080p, but the screen is 800p, so it should be fine. Yeah, so like I know, yeah, the screen is 1200 by 800, if I'm not mistaken. It doesn't say. Oh, there it is. Yes, 7-inch, 1280 by 800, which is a 16 by 10 ratio. Let's see here. There's also a dock that is sold separately with Ethernet, DisplayPort 1.4, HDMI 2.0, USB-A ports. There's no pricing for the dock. Battery life is 40 watt hours. It should last between 2 to 8 hours of gaming. There's also, like, there are higher versions here. Let's see here. $529, you get 256 gigabytes with an NVMe SSD, and $649 that has a 512 gigabyte NVMe SD with an anti-glare glass on the display and a few other extras. I'm gonna say no, because an APU is an integrated. Think about, like, well, Tycho might have the information for you, because the fact that an APU is essentially almost every fucking Intel CPU. Up until about recently, or some of the extreme Intel CPUs do not have
Centrino.
Huh?
Not that I'm trying to give you an Intel Centrino.
No, not that.
No.
I mean, at least like, I mean, with the core up until at least like the Core i7s, you will get integrated graphics on Intel platforms. It's why if you're building a computer nowadays, I don't know, maybe go Intel, because there are no GPUs. Because if you go Ryzen, at least up until about Ryzen 7. Now, granted, I think they make some Ryzen 7 APUs now, but before, like I think Ryzen 5 was like the last one where you can get integrated graphics. Ryzen 7, no. Ryzen 9, fuck all that. So you're not going to find like comparable GPU, like actual GPU performance. It's not like there's going to be like a Radeon 5700 XT or some shit you can run this against. It'll probably be more like, whatever Intel integrated graphics. Yeah, like, it's going to be kind of hard to say like what you can compare it to right now, because it's a custom chip. It's almost like taking a PlayStation 5 and saying, what is a comparable PC to this PlayStation 5? Right. Which you can't do that, because it's custom. It's a custom thing to where you would kind of have to match up with settings on a PC and hope that you can kind of get it right where it is. This is what I think a PC that runs PS5 games would look like. Like Tico mentioned, the only thing you compare it to is like other APUs. AMD does have some, Intel also has some as well, but because of the fact that this is a custom chip, it's kind of hard to make that comparison. We were having a conversation earlier, just because you have a core count and a thread count, you can't. It's still apples and oranges because we don't know what they've done to this SoC to make this run. One thing of note here is it is running a version of Linux, or running a version of SteamOS that is custom built for this platform, which is built off a version of Linux. So there's that to consider. It can run Windows, so you can actually fucking wipe this device and run Windows on it if you want. I don't know why you would want to, but it's an option if that's what you want to do.
I guess if you want to wipe it and then put Game Pass and then access your Game Pass games on it.
I mean, there's that, but again, it's the thing of I don't know. I mean, given the fact too that with this this is still running a PC, I'm pretty sure you can get to the Linux parts of it behind the scenes. Why not just run Game Pass in a browser?
That would work.
I would not be surprised if somebody actually just put in a way to access Game Pass into Steam for this device, so that way you wouldn't even have to do that. I'm sure someone will do it eventually. They do it a lot. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I mentioned the cycle. I said I would wait until people like Digital Foundry get their hands on it.
Yeah.
And be able to do those comparisons. I'm not a person who likes to speculate, especially on this show. Now, if you catch me on Twitter, if you catch me on Discord, sure, I'll speculate wildly all day. But on this show, no, I like to stick to what's there in front of me, because I know that there are people who may be listening to the show, maybe watching the show, who don't follow me on Twitter, who don't follow me, who don't talk to me on Discord, who may not get the sarcasm that I may have there. But yeah, I don't know, for me, this seems like the Switch Pro that people may have been looking for. Granted, it's still not it's 4K. It's not the screen is, I don't think the screen is AMOLED or any type of OLED. But the thing is, for a 7-inch screen, you really don't need that type of resolution because the screen is so fucking small to begin with. Also, I know that Tycho and I, we were talking about performance. Again, because the screen is so small, you don't really need it to go over 720p, and that's those things. You don't need it to go over 60 FPS. Sure, it'd be nice to get it to go faster, but you don't need that. Most games that would probably play this system comfortably are indie titles that probably weren't made for over 60 FPS to begin with. It may push out more frames, but it still won't show you no more than 60. And it probably and it's a lot of those things that are taken into consideration because, again, it's a handheld. You don't want that shit to get hot.
Indeed. Yeah, definitely exhaust would be the best thing.
Yeah, I think it was an article that he had shared with me, or it was a video he shared with me about another device that runs Windows. It's a handheld PC thing. And I was looking at a PC Gamer article about it, and it's that thing, they saying the fan just is out of control on it. I was I don't really want that for a handheld. Even the Switch gets loud.
It does, especially
that's a Tegra chip. That's a Tegra X1. Still only running things at 720p. So yeah, I'd be curious to see what this thing looks like when it comes out, because again, this is still not final hardware. I am not a big fan of those touchpads. Stop. I really wish that Steam would understand that when you have a device that has a controller, nobody wants to use a touchpad for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that Steam controller would have been great if it did not have those big ass touchpads. Like, why does that exist?
Right.
Like, I want to play controller games with this. Like, most games play control. I don't want to play Civ 5 on this. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless they made it touch, like if they made it touch compatible, but they probably won't. No, they're not developing more for Civ 5, which kind of bums me out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like the inclusion of these touchpads, the touchpads, like it's not great. Nobody uses a touchpad on the DualSense or the DualShock. Nobody uses a touchpad on the damn Vita. Stop including a touchpad. Like, the screen is touched. That's it. Let's not go any further than that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, that's exactly what, like, Ruin. That's exactly why they did that, and it's dumb. It's really fucking dumb. Like, there are plenty of developers who are putting controller support in their games. We do not need a trackpad for this.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's the whole with particular games that are very much like Steam, like basically keyboard and mouse type games.
Then
So I guess they
then
want
don't play it. Then don't play it on here. Like, I'm sorry.
to.
That's like trying to force Civ 5 on a PlayStation. Like, no, that's not going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
That is not fun.
Right. That was the one weird thing about the Steam controller, where it was like it was banking more on people playing these type of games on a controller that's of this ilk. And I know I certainly wouldn't myself, because as somebody who's played Monster Hunter World on PC and is currently playing Monster Hunter Stories, like I'm using a controller because JRPGs just feel right on a controller.
Because they put that shit on consoles before it was on PC.
Right. So it would make more. So even with the button scheme, like I see what they're doing with the trackpads. I get it. I see some of the functionality in that, but for me, I for one wouldn't be like as keen into it. I probably would dabble with it. If I got one of these, I would probably dabble with it to see if it worked and to see what the functionality is with it. But I wouldn't be like, yo, I would be mostly playing my controller based games on this. I would be.
They should have just focused on the controller, because, like, I mean, just looking at this thing right now, the fact that it's taking up so much real estate on this system.
Right. Like, plus the fact that you can dock this and then connect all your peripherals to it, and you can use it as a PC.
But see, my question with that is, will it bump up to the resolution of the monitor you plugged it into?
Now that's something that I would like.
Like,
that's
they didn't
something
mention
I would be
that.
really keen about that.
And, like, I know, like, again, there have been comparisons to this. I mean, to the Switch. It's like you put the Switch in the dock, it goes from 720p to 1080p.
Mm-hmm.
So is that an equivalent thing that's happening on the Steam Deck? Like, when I plug it in, will it go to the resolution of the monitors I have plugged into it? I don't see why it wouldn't. I mean,
yeah,
but it's a thing that they haven't mentioned. Like, again, like December, it can't come soon enough. I can't wait.
Right.
Like, I would like to get the NVMe version, but I don't know if I got it's the thing was, I don't know if I have $555 or $550 now, or will I even have it in December?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
530.
Yeah. I feel like this could have easily just came out in March. I feel like this probably would have done a little bit better in March and December, because then you're pretty much just as you mentioned, you're pretty much banking on people like having the money to possibly put on this, as opposed to, say, trying to get like a series console, an Xbox Series, or a PlayStation 5. They haven't already got one already.
I mean, I'm pretty sure like it's just been development. Like, who knows if it would have came out earlier if it wasn't for the pandemic?
Right.
I mean, it was all, again, just saying that, like knowing that, I was thinking like people not being around to really help develop it, like to kind of do the engineering for it, but also just everything else that happened because of the pandemic. Like how many of these things will actually be available in December because of the chip shortage? The fact that like Valve is trying to do something to keep, scalpers from buying up all of the Steam Decks, which would definitely really fucking suck. Like all of this sucks, period.
Yeah.
But it's a thing of like, why would they want to buy up a whole bunch of Steam Decks? It seems like it's a niche market. Oh wait, they're buying up Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards for some fucking reason now. So
the fact that they bought up all those damn like Sanrio, Animal Crossing amiibo cards only proves that if there is at least a tenth of value to somebody, they'll be like, "Yo, let me cop that."
It's dumb. Tycho, I don't want to acknowledge that this is the new normal. I don't.
I wouldn't major on
You
that.
don't want to acknowledge it, but is that where we are, fellas?
Unfortunately.
It's unfortunately this is where we are, but I choose to be cautiously optimistic about.
Maybe we should like just make a bullshit thing that we're all excited about, let them buy that and leave the Steam Deck alone. So, have y'all heard about these Linux Linux plushies with the Microsoft? Yo, these are dope, man. Like, look, if you can get like they sell them for like 5 cents, man. Like, look, if you can get these, like, you'll be dope. It'll be set for life. Look at it. You see how it just adorns my microphone? It's great. It's amazing. Look at that. Yeah.
If you go and install Ubuntu right now, they'll send you a T-shirt.
Yeah. Look, just go for it. All right. Good. I think I threw them off the scent. But yeah, as I said too, you can wipe the OS on this thing. You can install Windows on it. Which they're making it seem like it's fairly easy to do. So I'm wondering
the cloud version of Windows.
No, regular Windows. Like apparently they're making it seem like it's an x86 platform. So
that's what I would do.
What, run the cloud version?
Yeah, let's have portable cloud Windows.
So yeah, Steam Deck coming soon to a hand near you. In streaming news, speaking of new product announcements, Elgato had some announcements to make. They had some products to drop on you today.
They were dropping haymakers.
Tycho, yes, that was a Windows 365 reference.
Yep.
First off, they did announce the face cam with studio quality f2.4 24mm all glass Elgato Prime lens. I need to go sit there and see if I can find some black creators and see how it looks for them, because all the videos I've seen so far have been of white folk, which, webcams and darker skins ain't necessarily the best. So
any Saga is doing for the ones I know is definitely any Saga. Probably Miss Ash.
If you can drop the links of people of color demonstrating this camera.
Yeah.
Preferably in very high quality. So if they're YouTube videos, I'd appreciate that. Not Twitter, because Twitter compresses shit to fucking hell.
Yes.
Data Dave is live with it right now.
Oh yeah, Data Dave.
I still would prefer the YouTube because of the fact that the higher bit rate.
Right.
Like it's the compression issues for me. I want to see it in like the most clarity possible. But of course, you're not gonna find many of us in that space, unfortunately. Which I'm trying not to buy this thing. I don't want to buy it for $200. I do not think it's worth it. But then again, I want to see it on brown skin in 4 fucking K. to see if it's worth it. Given the issues I've had even with like expensive cameras like the Logitech Brio, and like it does not do well for dark skin. Like whereas I gotta blow the shit out of this room in order for me to be seen by anything. Let's see. They also announced the Wave Mic Arm LP, which is the low profile, 2 fully adjustable boom mic arms. Apparently they do not provide. Okay, there we go. It's way out of the way. Let's see if their website's actually got something. Like nobody covered this anywhere, which kind of fucking sucked. All right, so yeah. Okay, well here are all the new ones. So yeah, it's the face cam 1080p 60, detachable USB Type C to USB Type A using a Sony sensor. Like from what I've seen so far, and again, having only seen it on very Caucasian skin, it seems like it's better than, you know, Logitech's streaming webcam. I feel like the AverMedia one was a little bit better. Was looking at was it Alpha Gaming or some shit like that? I can't remember who it was. His AverMedia camera looked a lot better than the Elgato's. Apparently the software for this one though does give you a lot more control. It actually shows you the ISO so that way you know how dark or light your scene is and you can kind of adjust accordingly. But it's $200 and $800 that everyone was using to buy those. Excuse me. Don't come for me and my mirrorless camera, dude. Don't do it. Especially when I bought 2 of them. I mean, granted too, like they could only do that because there were no webcams. Like only recently have I been able to walk into a Best Buy and see a Logitech C920 that was like $60. They also they released an updated Stream Deck that apparently has a removable USB cable. You can customize it now. It's got little face plates. You can just take the face plates on and off and make it look cool. They now have this Wave XLR. I'm gonna click into this that we can kind of see more of it. Apparently taking their Wave mic technology, putting it in the hands of those who use XLR microphones. That way they can plug XLR microphones into their Wave Link software, but only those XLR microphones, not other USB mics, which, you know, if you like me using a Rode Podcaster or any other USB type microphone, Elgato's still like, fuck you. The Wave is the wave. And I don't know, this thing seems really simple to me, and I don't like it. I know people were saying like, oh, they're coming for the Go XLR. I said, no, they're not. This is not coming for the Go. Like, no, I would hands down still take the Go XLR over this. Like, how much is this going for? $159. Oh, how much is okay? So I guess if you ain't got Go XLR money, this might be your move then.
Right. It's a nice little like bridge to the XLR, you know, preamp life. Like getting me into preamp life.
Yeah. But yeah, given the fact that, you know, like I have my Rode Podcaster, I just plugged that into my Windows PC without any other software, and like being able to use Voice Meter and having my external switcher, yeah, I'm good. Definitely way less than what I would need to get this set up. And even then too, like I use the Wavelink with the Wave 3, and yeah, I am not a fan of this at all. But then I've been using not Audacity, but I've been using Voice Meter for like years. let's see. Let's take a look at this arm here. This is the Wave mic arm. This is the low profile version. To kind of do what I try to fake and like move my arm so low and out of the way. That way I can see this monitor, and you won't be able to see a mic, but it looks weird when I do it over here. This seems to make it the default. It's got little sections where you can hide your cable in the arm. This is the only product I thought about buying. This retails for $100. And I'm trying to see here. I said they barely have. Okay, there we go. Mic arm. And this is the other one, the other mic arm where, just like your standard. This one retails for $100 too. So. Yeah, this thing looks a little bulky for me. I don't know.
Just don't do it.
Yeah, it's not where I want to be in my life. Let's see what else do they got. The face cam, the mic arms, the wall mount, so you can actually mount shit to walls now. I guess if that's the thing you're into. They've announced extended light strip extenders now. Also, you can kind of configure your studio. Oops, sorry, that sounded very, very squeaky. I guess this is me. Or I guess I choose the room. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, no. Actually, the shit's just fucking broke. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, apparently this shit's like fucking broken in my browser. I can't get it to work. I chose an environment. Why is this not working?
Don't do this right now. You don't want to do this.
Yeah, it's not working. Yeah, it just not working for me. Oh well. So yeah, like Elgato, they announced a lot of stuff here. Yeah, that's your thing. Like, there are cheaper alternatives, and again, it's a thing of like, I don't know if I want to call Elgato prosumer at this point. Granted, I still think like getting a mirrorless and a cam link is more prosumer than this.
Mm-hmm.
Like Elgato's in that weird. It's in that weird place where it's like, okay, I can see the quality. I get why they make it, but I still don't know if $200 for a for a webcam.
Yeah,
is good.
That's a bit excessive. Like if this was like a $150, $150, I could kind of possibly could see it.
What gets me is they're celebrating the fact that it has a what is it? Fuck it. Fixed focus.
Fixed focus, yeah.
So it does an autofocus, which again, as somebody who was using a mirrorless camera in fixed focus, sucked ass when I needed to back up. Like when I was playing Truck Simulator, like I was using my the M50 Mark I, sitting at my desk like I am now, playing games, and then I decided to play Truck Simulator for about a month, which meant I had to figure out like about just stretching out and trying to get the focus right.
Right.
Not to mention the fact that if like most streamers do, if you're talking about something, you got something in your hand and you want to hold it to the camera, you couldn't focus that shit. So it's like, what's the point? What's the point of fixed focus? Like, that's not, like, I don't know who is creating content where they're not interacting like that. Where
you have to do the thing where you have to like put it in front of your hand and like hold it in front of the camera like this to focus it, because you can't really focus it after that.
Well, that's
You
the thing.
can't
Like
really
with
just
the face cam, there is no focus. There is none. There's like that's the thing that's saying like, well, you don't have to do that anymore. Well, it's like, well, now I have to sit in the same spot every time. If I wanted to do something else, I can't do that. This camera literally is only good to sit on my monitor and use it as a webcam for streaming. I can't use it like as a secondary camera. Like I can't use it for that because it will be out of focus depending on where I put it. Like I can't use this camera if I wanted to stream VR because I will be blurry as fuck because the camera can't focus on me. Like I don't know why that was a selling point for them. Like I don't get it. Like I was so glad when I got the Mark II, my M50 Mark II, where I could use autofocus again because like being on a fixed focus sucks ass. But yeah, I don't know. Like, it's a thing of like I see the practicality of having their products, like, and they've been very instrumental in getting more people into content creation. But I think we had mentioned this before. I want to say one of us. I want to say it was me. Had mentioned it before. Like Elgato is becoming the Apple of streaming.
Yeah. Or
the Apple of content creation outside of, Apple really being Apple of content creation. It's a lot of markup for something where like you could probably get comparable results by buying cheaper things. Like there are some things that, yes, I have an Elgato Cam Link. I have an Elgato HD60 Pro. I have 2 Elgato key lights. I use their multi-mount system. I do, but there may have been cheaper alternatives. Like I'll be the first one to say, yeah, I bought it because of a name. There were probably alternatives to a lot of this shit. The fact that my AverMedia card could do what my Elgato Cam Link can do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like you talk to a gamer like, what's the best gamer brand? Oh, it's Razer. Why? Oh, because they're in everything. They're esports and all that. It's like, no.
Have you tried talking to Corsair about that?
I mean, well, if you start talking Corsair, they'll get you back in Elgato because they own Elgato.
Are we trying to escape Elgato?
Huh?
Were we trying to escape?
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, it's that brand recognition. It's like if you were asking someone about PC gaming peripherals, the first thing they'll say is like Razer. Like again, I do Logitech. I've been using Logitech equipment like forever. I would say Logitech, but like if you talk about PC gaming, oh, you gotta get that Razer, get the sidewinders and all this other shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's what I'm afraid. Like if someone like it's getting to a point where you can now buy all of your streaming shit from Corsair. Whether it's the PC, the mouse, the keyboard, the lights, the camera, the capture equipment, your mic arm now, your switchboard.
Right.
Like I think the only thing Corsair doesn't make at this point is a fucking monitor.
Not yet.
Like
not yet.
It's that thing of like, I'm afraid that like Corsair's getting to that point. Like I think Blue was near there. Like if you wanted a mic for streaming, everybody was looking for the Blue. Everybody was looking for that Yeti.
Mm-hmm.
And they probably still are. Like the Blue is still like a very good microphone brand. Like I wonder what Blue sales look like now that the Wave came out. But yeah, it's getting to a point where oh shit, Corsair does sell headphones. Never mind, you can get headphones from Corsair.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if fucking Corsair became Elgato in like the next 5 years. But yeah, like I don't know how to feel because again, I will buy some Elgato stuff every now and then. It really helps. But it's also like me, like, you could buy cheaper computers, but yeah, I still buy Apple products. You can buy a cheaper cell phone, I still buy an iPhone. I think it's just I would rather people understand like there are options, there are choices outside of this. And I'm afraid there's so many people who are pushing hard for Elgato. Like, y'all don't have to do this.
And in a lot of cases, it's one of those. How do I say this? At this point, I feel with the way that the options are for tech, if you're buying Elgato, it's mostly for the brand name at this point.
Yeah.
Because it's not like there are zero things that I can think of that you have to have an Elgato specific product to achieve.
Right.
It's not microphone audio. It's not like quality cameras because those things exist. Stream decks other than the Elgato Stream Deck exist and work just as well for a lot of people. It's an ecosystem that you're buying into, and sure, that might make things easier, but it's not the only option that exists.
Yeah. As somebody who has like, I think I just have like the two Elgato things. I have the Stream Deck and the green screen. The green screen worked for me. The Stream Deck works for me. But my capture device is AverMedia. AverMedia, this capture device has given me zero problems. It has given me no problems. The moment I plugged it in and put ReCentral in, it has been sound as $1 a pound. Now, would I have like a combination of a mixture of things? Brand loyalty doesn't really matter to me that much. Like, as somebody who, like, I was a big like Logitech person. Like, I love Logitech. Right now, my keyboard is a HyperX. I'm rocking a Razer. It is what it is. But majority of which is, as long as it gets the job done, it gets the job done. But I'm always thinking, like, if I don't want this Razer mouse, then I'm gonna throw it away and get a HyperX or Corsair or whatevs. I am here to basically find the thing that will make my system work for me. These headphones, some cheap ass $15 Panasonics. That's it. Like, you do until you can do better, or you could do different. But yeah, there are certain Elgato products, so I'm like, yo, that's nice, that's pretty cool. But other stuff, I'm like, no, if somebody else could do it cheaper and better than this, then I would go with better and cheaper. So if somebody was like, hey, yo, we wanna sponsor you for Elgato stuff, I'm like, gladly, give me the things. But in the meantime, between time, nah, I'm good. I am fine.
For me, like, I will say that I am a Logitech fan. I'm gonna say fanboy. I always say fan. I love my Logitech. I mean, granted, like like I said, I've been using Logitech like before PC gaming was a thing. Like, that was just when you needed a mouse and a keyboard and some set of speakers. You bought Logitech. That was the thing. But looking at it too, like, I have so many issues with some of these other companies. Like, I think, like, again, Razer supporting fucking Ninja or whatever. HyperX was big into fucking Dr. Disrespect. But what got me, like, one, I was in Logitech's camp to begin, like, long before this. But what really got me is like looking at Logitech G and Astro showing so much love to minorities.
And like for example, like Logitech and Pikachu Lita, my god.
I mean, like, that's one example. Like, I mean, they are standing real hard, like Lil Nas X, but like they've put like Cypher of Tear, Data Dave. Like they go hard. Like again, like when I look through Instagram, I am seeing like even DJ Knight like showing off things. I think Milady Confetti was doing some Logitech stuff too. Like it's them having like these Logitech products, and then like it was like that one time when I found out that Logitech owns Astro. Looking at the A-Star Collective and showing like how they were showing so many people of color during June of last year, and like it didn't stop. It didn't stop. They kept going months after that. Where it's like, oh, you know what? I've always liked those Astro A40s. You know what? I got a little change laying around. Why don't I just go pick me up a pair? And that's what I did. For me, like Logitech has kind of just been that company that's been showing that support, and like I've kind of like also around that time, like Elgato was definitely getting a lot of shit because they weren't showing that love. It was sure as shit nice today to see that premiere where there were a lot of people of color, you know, opening boxes and showing products. Whereas like it's sad, like it feels weird that, man, there's a lot of black people here, but it does feel nice at the same time. But it's like this wasn't always the case, especially with Elgato. It almost seems like they're course correcting, which I mean is good, but I don't know, like y'all won't hear at the beginning, so what are we doing? But yeah, I will always be here for some Logitech stuff. All day. If Logitech made a capture card, I'd be there. But I know they won't.
Yeah,
it made me feel bad.
Though.
It made me feel bad that I switched over from Blue to Rode right when Logitech bought Blue microphone.
Oof.
But again, like Rode had the better. Like for me, the next Blue microphone will be an XLR, and I just didn't have it then. Yeah, I like my Rode Podcaster. It's great. I like it. It's nice. Let's see. There's one more thing I would like to cover. I had to go find it because it did not come out in time. Of course, you know, Epic Games, they putting out free games every week. Weren't they supposed to stop this program at one point?
What? Free games?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wasn't it supposed to stop after a while?
Apparently not.
This week.
I mean,
go ahead.
I mean, they could stop if they want to. That'd be the last time they'd be like, "Oh, they're gonna stop." Well, that's nothing more I need from Epic.
Will they ever stop, man? I don't know.
I said, keep it going. Keep that same energy, Epic. Keep that same energy.
I think it was an article saying that Epic may be hurt from the Steam Deck too. So we'll see how that goes. Again, people will figure that shit out. People will figure it out.
They'll work it out.
This week's Epic Game Store freebies are Abduction and Off-World Trading Company. And next week will be Defense Grid: The Awakening and Verdun.
The Defense Grid: The Awakening is one of those games that should just be grandfathered into like everybody's Steam account, because it's just one of those. It's like Steve's version of Snake. It's like it should just be included. It should just be included because I've owned it, and every time it's been on sale, it's always been like cheaper than $1. Like it's always been like close to like $2 or $3. It's like anomaly.
So are you saying that Epic should do like Apple did with the U2 album and just put it in everybody's library? Just don't say nothing.
Yeah,
it just shows up. They didn't have to click it to purchase it. Nothing. They just get the license.
Yeah, just plug it in there. Just be like, here you go. Whether you play it or not, it's your one free game. Like, but unlike
we want to make sure you get that.
Yeah, but unlike the YouTube album, it won't just automatically install and then start playing at random times.
Now that's what you want. That's what you want. You just want to sit at your computer. All of a sudden, Defense Grid just plays.
Yeah, no.
That's what you want.
Yeah, just tie it to the account.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, whew,
Yeah.
that was another one.
Another one.
Another one. Kev,
Yes, sir.
what you got going on this week?
Not much too major. Oh, before I forget, I'd be remiss. My friend Leah, like, oh my God, Leah is a awesome, talented Black creator, and she also crochets. And so she crochets these like Pokeball like coasters for her company called Naughty Tings. And so I signed up for her contest because I was gonna buy these. And as you can see, they're little Pokeball coasters, and she hand crochets all of them. She has like a set of 6. And I was gonna buy these, and she was like, "Hey, yo, do the just throw your information up there and join my giveaway for these." And I was like, "Cool." And then it's like, "Cav, you won," and I was like, oh, "I did." So yeah, so she gave me these. I made a TikTok about these. You can check that on my TikTok channel. And yeah, these are good. So I'm giving her a little bit of a plug to go check her out. The company is Naughty Tings, KNOTTYTING. Boom. You can check her out on, I think it's like she's on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Definitely go check her out and support awesome Black businesses and Black creators, and especially Black female presenting creators. Definitely go check them out. I love these. I really truly can't even like put a drink coaster on them. They're so cute. So I just have them like sitting in the basket. It's my Pokeball basket. And
One, I'm just mad you didn't tell me you had a TikTok until just now.
what? Yeah, I make TikToks. I don't do them as much as like Anka does them, but I do TikTok when the mood strikes. So I made a little TikTok of this, and so yeah, go support her. Probably going to be playing some more. Probably play some more Monster Hunter Stories 2, which that game is fun. Highly recommend. If you're going to play it on PC, cause the Switch version's frame rate's trash. And I mean trash. Now I'm not talking about I'm not talking about like, oh, it's 30 frames a second. Oh no, I'm talking about sometimes this game dips down to like 20s. Like, so I highly recommend, if you have the ability to play it on PC, play it on PC. It's a really, really great game. Battle system is super, super fun. Story is flimsy, but most of the Monster Hunter stories are flimsy. But yeah, it's a good time. And probably play more Yakuza. Which shout out to Pothead Ted. Reminded me of a submission in it, and I immediately started laughing because I know just like out of context. Here's a picture of a mission, and I laughed. I laughed for a good 3 minutes because that mission was balls to the wall crazy. But yeah, probably gonna play some Yakuza.
Oh, Ruin
and more after year.
Ruin calling you out.
When you gonna finish Yakuza 7 though? I mean, I have been playing that game off stream, so I'll just let y'all know when I'm finished. But I haven't like streamed it yet. But y'all already know y'all gonna get plenty of JRPGs. You're gonna get that Dragon Quest. You're definitely gonna get Dragon Quest. Definitely gonna get Monster Hunter Stories. Yeah. That can feel betrayed. Okay. But yeah, I saw him beat up one person. That was all I could be able to do during that stream. Beat up the one person. But that was awesome though. That was a great. That was a pretty good stream. But yeah, I'll let the pick. I'll probably see if I can pick back up on it. Maybe stream it sometime. But yeah, game's fun. Um, Probably might try dabble in the Tropico 6 because that's probably no, not probably. That is out on Game Pass, and just waiting for Hades to come on Game Pass so I can play that and love that like everybody else has been telling me how awesome that game is. So
it's
yeah,
pretty good. It's pretty good.
yeah, people have been telling me. Yeah,
I've at least made it
Fingers
up to
crossed.
Zeus. I've at least
Yeah.
made it up to Zeus, and it's like okay, or not Zeus. It was Hades. Actually, yeah, I did make it to Hades, and it's like, yep, all right, cool, I did that,
Yeah, you had to fight your father.
and I lost. So I was like,
Yeah.
all right, cool,
Mm-hmm.
cool.
I say, son, you can't whoop my ass, son. Let me tell you why I'm the god of death. Cracks knuckles.
Sin, what you got
That's
going
me.
on this week?
Why are you even asking me? I'm doing nothing. I have a presentation I'm trying to make it through tomorrow, and considering that I'll probably be up relatively late tonight working on it, I'm going to do that and then take a nap. I don't have a lot going on this weekend. And then, streams on Monday, Tuesday as usual. Back here next week for, I think, another normal Thursday.
Yeah, hold on. Let me check the calendar because I was wondering that myself. Yep, one more normal Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's it. Not a whole lot happening this week. We're taking it easy, and I am enjoying it.
Awesome.
Cool. Let's see. For me, probably more of the same. Just relaxing, chilling. I've been wanting
Major
to
said he's tired of streaming except for this podcast.
just about, and we're gonna get into that in a little bit. I've been wanting to wash my car, but now the birds have forced my hand. They decided, oh no, brand new shiny, we should shit all over it. So they did today, and it made me upset low key until I realized, oh wait, I drive in the car, not outside of it, so fuck you. And I drove home. It was great. Yeah, so speaking of calendar stuff, in about 2 weeks. In about 2 weeks, we got next week. We've got a regular show. The following week, we are doing Sea of Thieves. But the week after that, the first Thursday in August, we will not be having a show. Apparently, I've been waffling on some things, and then Sin said, dude, as a brother, if you do not do it, we'll just have more words later. And I was like, you know what? I don't like when Sin yells at me, so I guess we're just going to do it. We're trying to make some changes on the show. Not bad. Again, we are coming up on a year of doing this show here on twitch.tv/Major Linux. Anchor.com/Tech Talk Thursdays, majors.house/TTT. Of course, that's everywhere you can find the show. It's time to make some good changes here. So one thing we are planning on doing is possibly alternating between, like Tech Talk Thursday plays and actually having special episodes where I know like Tycho's been wanting to talk about Cyberpunk for a while. We've been wanting to talk about infrastructure for God knows how long. What we're trying to do is have these shows where we're taking one topic, being able to really take a deep dive into it and have those discussions that would normally take 3 hours on its own on top of trying to do a regular show. So we're going to take some time, and normally on a time when we will record a show, we're going to get together and we're just going to try to plan it out, hash it out, see what that looks like, and try to execute on it. I'm really excited, also scared, anxious, nervous. But it was something I realized last week that, sitting here and being complacent does not equal growth. actually taking those risks, introducing some interesting challenges to try to get your platform to grow is what needs to happen. So I'm excited, but again, yeah, very, very nervous about it. I've not really put much work into anything outside of like, hey, I created this thing. Okay, this is it. And then I normally just leave it alone. So it's good to actually have a team of people who are supporting it, who are working with me to try to make this a better show for you all, better show for me. So yeah, I mean, again, as much as, you know, we can sit here and say, yes, this is my show, it's on my channel, it's whatever. Do y'all have any thoughts, any words you would like to share about the future of Tech Talk Thursdays or whatever is happening with this show, this channel, what have you?
No, I'm good. I'm good either way. As long as I'm here on this earth, I'm gonna be here doing these podcasts. So, yep.
That also means too, like, yes, eventually there will be a website dedicated to this show. That's one thing I've been dragging my feet on. I would say for no reason, but honestly, this has been the second day in a row I've ever been upstairs. Like, normally when I go home, I sit downstairs on my couch, watching Naked and Afraid or Brooklyn Nine-Nine and playing solitaire and not thinking about anything. But yeah, I'm slowly getting used to, you know, going back into the office and trying to find that workflow for post work. So yeah, some things are coming, some really good things are coming. I'm really excited. So yeah, all I can ask for those who are watching the stream, who are watching YouTube, who are listening to the podcast, please bear with us. You know, new construction, we're building some great things. And again, we love to hear from you. Definitely can hit us up on Twitter. We got an email, ttt@majorshouse.com. You can comment on the website, majorlinux.com, on the YouTube videos, Discord, majors.house/Discord. We can pretty much find all this stuff on, you know, if you go to twitter.com/majorlinux, it should be a list there I've already created of all the places you can find me. And again, you know, just reach out. Let us know what you like to see. And we'll see what we can do. I'm excited. Really excited for it. Can't wait. But in order for us to do that, we got to get out of here. Thank you all, everybody, for tuning in to another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays for July 15th, 2021. On behalf of, it's your boy Kev in the building. On behalf of Sinziak. On behalf of the GOAT, Idios and Anka, thank you all for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. You all could have been anywhere in the world, watching any stream in the world. You could have been reading the tech and gaming news yourself, but you said no. No, there's a better option. We can go for this week one, but there's a Steam version over here. We'll go for that one. And we really do appreciate it. Thank you all so much. And of course, all I've got left to say to you wonderful people is I love you. Peace. How?
Honda forever.